Here we go. Yeah, the countdown apparently was a fail, but I think we're live now.
All right, well, here we are.
Let's see. Yep, we're live, and we're tiny.
So we
Oh my,
made it.
we're tiny with a black
I don't know
screen.
why the screen's black.
Right. Can I get rid of that? Oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going on here. No, I don't want to share screen. I want to change the layout. How do I do that? My scenes. No, I don't want a scene. I don't want to. What the heck is this? Good grief.
I don't know. I got us pulled up. We got that big old black screen.
Why? Solo layout. No, I don't want solo layout. Oh, so their layout's over here. Oh, no, it's just me. Solo layout. There are two people watching. One of them is me.
Okay, well, one of them's me. I wonder who number 3 is.
Oh my gosh. All right.
It's fine. They can't see me playing with my beard in anticipation.
Add to stage. There you go. Now we have 5 people, it says.
Sweet.
There we go. Hey, there we go. That's a bit better.
Much better,
black
much
behind
better.
us, but at
We're
least we
getting
can
somewhere.
see ourselves. We're getting somewhere. Hey. All right. So we were gonna do a deep dive on Oh wait, did we do our greetings? I can't remember. This whole thing's been an issue.
We did probably before it even came live. I think that was right after the countdown before,
We had a failed countdown, and then we went live. So greetings, dear denizens of planet Dirt. It is I, Kaiju.
I'm Krittur.
And hi. So we were originally gonna do a deep dive on Shin Godzilla, but we've been having a lot of technical difficulties trying to get everything set up. And we're also going to do a review of the Primevals, and we're also going to talk about what we watched the past week, just very briefly, no spoilers. And so, hey, it's Dieter. Oh, Dieter.
Hey, Dieter.
Yeah, it's the shirt Dieter got me.
Oh, yeah, I'm just wearing my favorite Godzilla shirt. Super dope. Completely break the back screen.
So let's see.
Yeah.
Besides,
cool. Hey, Peter.
Besides, the Primevals, which we just watched. What did you watch this week or the past 2 weeks?
I mean, other than like re-watching Shin Godzilla, and then the Toxic Avenger. Just that's it. I've been busy, man.
I saw the Toxic Avenger, VHS Halloween. I think those were the only ones I made it through completely so far. I tend to start movies, stop watching them, and then go back to them. But some movies, of course, like you can't really stop watching it. So, we both saw the Toxic Avenger. I thought it was awesome. I was very impressed by it.
Yeah, it was super dope, and like the way that it tried to hold its heart toward the original into modern day standards. It's just as like basically a lifelong trauma fan. Like it really it really was something special, you know.
I agree.
Like they tried to, yeah, they kept the spirit very well,
When I was a kid, I loved the first
very good.
three Toxic Avenger movies. I don't remember them very well. Well, I remember the first one because I've rewatched that a few times. But the but yeah, I enjoyed the practical effects. I know they were considered cheesy by modern standards, but for compared to the original Toxic Avenger, there's like
Yeah,
no contest. This is far superior, and it treated itself more like a serious film, but with the same type of camp humor. And I really appreciated that. I also liked that they changed the character, so like you can pretend that this is like a new Toxic Avenger, a new Toxie,
right.
and
Like, just and I don't want to like give too much away when he actually becomes Toxic Avenger. Like I loved that scene. It was so cool. It was so cool, and it felt like I was right back there in my childhood. Because as soon as I was able to work a VHS player, I was putting in Toxic Avenger. I was like 3 or 4. Shouldn't have been watching it, but I was.
oh yeah, a lot of
Loved
stuff
it
I
then,
watched.
you
I was
know.
able to watch it, and not to give anything away, but like some of the kills in this movie were awesome. Like the
Yes.
the end, I'm not. Yeah, great movie. Um, I really
Indeed.
enjoyed it. And let's see. So, I don't know, anything else
So
you
you
want to
said
say about
that.
Toxic Avenger?
No, but I did want to ask you about that new VHS Halloween because like I watched the first two, kind of fell off with the third one. I don't even think I finished it, and then I haven't seen it since. So is that Halloween one any good?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Oh, and hi, Lori, Real Cinema. Um, and let's see. Oh yeah, Halloween VHS Halloween. Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all but one of the segments. The segment that I didn't really enjoy, like it was a good segment, but it was just too brutal for me, and it didn't have anything supernatural in it. I know that's a slight spoiler, but I'm not telling you what segment it was, so hey, there's that. But I had to skip through parts of one of them. It was that rough. But other than that, it was good.
Eek.
But as you know, with VHS, with that series, and it has to be the V slash H slash S. The ones without the slash, you call them mockbusters. But
Yeah.
I really liked the tie-in story. The one, well, like the overlaying story that was really fun. I enjoyed it. It was a little bit retro. Um, but yeah, with the VHS series, everyone's on the chopping block. You know that there's probably not going to be a single survivor, and like pets, kids, newlyweds, everyone is on the chopping block in those movies. So you just have to go in there expecting that with each segment. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Especially let's see, best, and I think that first one's going to be pretty iconic for some people. Hey, and Kimberly's here too.
All right. I
Hi.
might have to check it out then. Hello.
All right, and then so let's see. Guess we'll do the spoiler-free review part first. This way, folks haven't seen any of the next movies. Won't be spoiling anything on them until we warn them. So I figure we'll do Shin Godzilla first, and then the Primevals, and then we'll go to some spoiler discussion.
Sounds good.
And
So
is there anything else that I wanted to say about VHS first, though? Because I'm kind of rushing. I feel like I'm kind of rushing through everything. This is going to be a shorter stream. It's a little bit of a practice, I guess. I don't know.
yeah,
But
good way to put it.
let's see. Um,
The Kaiju crit double flick, you know?
yeah.
Because we got Shin and Primevals.
Oh yeah, we're the Kaiju and Critter show. I forgot to say the name of the show. That
Yeah, I
abbreviates
only.
to CAC.
Yeah, don't you love cack?
I do love CAC. And someone's alarm is going off. Yeah, it's classic for around here. We have King Gatorite flies overhead and just sets everything off. Sometimes he drops presents and can ruin vehicles. That's why you need.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that in this, you know, FBI test facility.
I was just checking the chat real quick. And I guess I can highlight things too. Sorry, still getting used to everything here. Did I highlight something just now?
I don't see it on the screen.
Let's see. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's see. I guess I'll highlight the highs. We got Amy saying hi. She says, "Oh, hi, good-looking man."
Hello.
We got Peter. He's saying hi to us.
And that good-looking man.
Sexy, sexy Dieter. And Dieter's sleepy. And it's Real Cinema Therapy. She has an amazing channel.
Yes.
She's big into
Yes.
the Walking Dead shows and shows with those actors. We got Kimberly here. Hey, Kimberly.
Dude,
And
I'm like
that's all
super
the
laggy
highs.
compared to from here.
Hey, I selected my first chats successfully
Good
without
job.
doing everything up. Yeah, blind person clapping. All right. Yeah, Walking. Yes, Walking Dead live soon. This is Lori. Actually, I could drop her channel. Let's see. Real Cinema Therapy. So I'm literally broadcasting through a dollhouse right now. That's where my device is housed.
I can see it on my TV. Miss J's reviews says, "Hey,
Hey, Jay. Nice to see you.
we love our family here." Amy got milk on her keyboard the other day, so she got 3 keys that don't work.
Oh no. And I just realized I can go right to their channel just by clicking on their name.
She's got me wondering which keys are missing. For me, it'd
I
probably
had
be FUK.
I had a laptop once that had the T missing, and I had to copy and paste it in all the time.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah. At some point, I ended up buying a keyboard just because I that
Because
one
you ain't got a
key.
T.
Yeah, it was
Man,
cheaper than trying to replace the actual key on the laptop.
I
There we
would
go.
know.
Oh, oh, Dieter already has a wrench. Okay, so Dieter can link too. Cool.
Cool. That way, if we get some spam bot, he'd be like, "Bye bye."
Right, because I have a really bad ADHD, so I might miss it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how to do that. I was never good with the technology stuff. It's always the wildlife, actually. Yeah.
I think for going back to the VHS series, I think I really enjoyed VHS Beyond quite a bit as well. That was the one right before this one, and I also really enjoyed VHS Viral, although I know a lot of people didn't.
Man, it's way after my time.
Yeah, I watched through like all of them recently. I, I started watching. I watched the first one, loved it, and then I was hooked. I had to watch through all of them. I loved that that all of them had like supernatural themes to them and like monsters and a lot of practical effects. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of
yeah.
practical effects. Like I use AI a lot, but that's more because that's what I have access to or anything. Even I've got like negative budget. I don't have no budget. I got negative budget.
You be owing. Maybe that is our way of saying that we need to remake some films and get us a better computer.
I definitely need a better computer.
That's what we should do.
Well, I have a better computer on the way, hopefully. Um, one of my friends is building me one, supposedly, I think. Fingers crossed. And then I'll be able to do quite a bit more. And that'll be actually really exciting. And that also gives me some opportunities to make money from home and maybe move back to being my own boss. And that'd be really nice.
That'd be cool.
Hey, it's Vibrant Numerals. Hi, how's it going? Oh, and I should give hand out some wrenches.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't mean
Amy's
to
asked what it was like to meet Julie.
How do I give
there you go.
wrenches? Oh, I shared on Twitter. Thank you. Oh, meeting Julie was awesome. Oh my gosh, I was like so excited and then so nervous, and it's like weird because when you meet, like we become like really good friends and we chat a lot, and like we spent a lot of time like physically like kind of like alone. Like yeah, there's family around kind of, but like and we're both nocturnal, and she's been going through a lot because she's like in the process of moving, and that is like really stressful. Um, and they got like pets that they have to pack up and stuff. It's quite a bit, and but but yeah, and so like, but then meeting, it's like it's always like meeting someone for the first time almost, and then it's like, oh my gosh, you're a human being, you're a person right in front of me, and then like there's like this like almost like, oh, I've got to be careful how I act and stuff. I've got to put on a good make a good impression. Then like it's like, wait, I already know this person. She already knows me. Why the it's like this like weird like internal thing. And then but as soon as we started talking, we just like fell back into complete like comfort and like, oh man, it was awesome. So many emotions. Like we were both so overwhelmed with emotions to finally like be able to like hang out and meet each other. And her mom was so adorable. She was so excited that I was there. Um, she couldn't believe it at first. She was asleep when we came in, when me and hubby came in, and then her dog woke up first, woke her up, and yeah, she wanted Julie to bake us cookies, and that was not happening. They didn't even have. I don't even know like if that would have been practical because like they had like the pretty much the entire house packed up by then, or almost.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Dude, like that was so adorable though. Like y'all getting on the camera and like just being around each other, and then you just exploding with all the positive emotions in the world. Like it was so cute. I love that y'all got to meet.
We Carl wanted to try to like set it up so the three of us could hang out today, but that didn't end up working out. I don't think. I didn't hear back from him as to whether or not he got in okay. Um, but everything is going to be so busy for them. Plus, he's probably going to be exhausted from travel. So I didn't really expect us to
Yeah,
be able to hang out today. Julie didn't think it was realistic, but Carl was enthusiastic. Um, but I appreciate, that he wanted to.
for sure, for sure.
But yeah, that was awesome. Oh, I got oh, I should go and grab them. 1 second. You read from the chat or something.
Okay. I'm hey y'all. Y'all have a good day. I can see the chats pretty quickly. It's good to hear. I'm glad that no matter how down things get, there's always a bright side to look up to.
Oh, the other one's probably in my jacket pocket. Let's see, I got this one. Oh, and I have these. So, Nick L 83 from Julie B Deep Dives community. Um, oh goodness, we're talking about Julie, and we don't even I didn't even link her, but I'm gonna have to link vibrant numerals as well. But yeah, I'm turned away from the darn camera. So, but yeah, Nick L 83 from Julie's community. He makes things with his 3D printer, and
Okay.
he sent a bunch to her. She just had to pay for shipping, and so I got here. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Kinda.
It's a
Is that a
talisman.
talisman?
Yep, from. I gotta
That's
make sure.
cool.
I gotta
That's
make sure
really
I hold it
cool.
up. Then I have a keychain version as well. Um, and then I got two coasters. This one's the cave painting. I don't know if you can see it. And this one's Smiley. Yeah, I can see it.
You can definitely see Smiley. That's
Yeah, I think the
cool.
other one might be too dark. I don't have a very good lighting right here. I need to set something up.
I'm amazed that I can see as much light on me as I can. It's probably that bald head reflecting back.
And so, yeah, I guess I didn't really introduce myself. I'm just kind of assuming everyone on here knows who I am. So I'm a nobody, but I'm from Planet X. I'm trying to invade your dear planet Dirt, and I'm not very good at it. I have really bad ADHD, and I kind of just get distracted. And your people are kind of fun. I've been making friends, and so it's kind of hard to squish you all with giant monsters when I'm developing an emotional attachment to you all as a species. But I can still hope. Hey,
Yeah,
Trace,
yeah.
nice to see you. Thank you for joining. I have to crouch. All right. Yeah, I co-host and I produce a show called From Academy about a TV show called From, and it's a horror, sci-fi, fantasy, mystery box show. I guess it's more horror and mystery box than anything. All, but it's really good, like really, really good. I'm obsessed, and there's a lot to dig into in that show, and I do. Um, let's see. Here we go. Vibrant numerals. I probably put this on vibrate so you don't hear all the clicking. Okay, can I hand out
So
wrenches?
Amy says one of the letters that she's unable to use sounds like C, right? So I think she's trying to hint that it's P, as in paw paw. I could be
Oh,
wrong,
I
but I
can
don't
set
think I am.
moderator. All right. So Amy has a wrench. I don't really want to hand them out like candy because it's really easy to accidentally like delete delete comments, delete people, stuff like that. Um, and so, Amy, I gave you a wrench. So you and Dieter both have wrenches. If Critter pops in the chat, I can give him a wrench. So Critter, if you pop in the
I'm,
chat, I can give you a wrench.
I'm gonna try. We'll see if I can do it from my Amazon tablet that hates anything Google.
Okay. Well, we don't have to do it tonight.
Eventually, at some point, we shall.
Yep. Aw, we love you too.
We love you. Oh, I see.
No, Amy, I was talking to the person behind you. No, I'm kidding. All right, so Shin Godzilla. So yeah, we
Yes.
watched Shin Godzilla. And we watched Shin Godzilla with friends as well. And uh I all right, so I'll let you start if you want.
Yeah, let me start. Because,
All
like,
right.
I mean, I've
So
seen
when
it
did you first
multiple times now.
when did you first see Shin Godzilla?
I saw it probably about a year and a half later, maybe around a year, but it was like I know it was late 2017, and it was like the 1 year re-release or something. I don't know, but it. I remember the way that it took me back to watching, Final Wars as a kid. I was just like instantly brought back to the Japanese vision of Godzilla, but it was new and fresh and just like, oh, I loved it. Loved it.
I
I
remember
Yeah.
okay.
When did you see it?
So I saw it I probably saw it in Japanese before it was subtitled. I grabbed it as soon as I possibly could. Um, because I really, really wanted to see it. I had been obsessing over the movie before it even came out, trying to like find like what information I could about it. Um, I think at the time, for people that were covering it, was it I know D-Man 1954 started was like one of the first to like cover it, and I think it was one of the first things that he covered. And um, then was the Omni viewer covering it? I think he might have been covering it too. And that was before Dangerville, I think. Um, so maybe Monster Island Buddies. Or there was someone else that I was watching too, I'm pretty sure. But it was funny because um D-Man or Derek, he had the best he had like the best content for it. He was finding the best stuff somehow. And he was like what, like 16 or something at the time, 15 or 16.
I don't know, man. Like, I wasn't watching any of the cool Godzilla YouTubers at that point, and I look back on my time and I kind of regret it. I wish I had found them sooner. Felt so alone because I had to just keep up with Google to find out when Shin Godzilla was coming out near me.
Hmm. I remember showing pictures to some of my nerdy friends at work, and my friend Kevin was like, "Oh man, that's an ugly Godzilla. I hope this is like a before, like they add like effects or something to it." And no, it wasn't. It was how it looked pretty much.
Look, so I was like I was 19 or 20 when I saw it, so it was just in that awesome, like, man, I want this to look super sick age. So it was perfect for me. It aged
Uh,
well with me.
and I remember when I got the subtitled version, um, I think was it Funimation that put that out that we watched it on? Yeah, I think it was.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we used my brother's account to watch it. But yeah, my ex loved it. He was kind of obsessed with the movie, and kind of like because he always liked Godzilla, but like he didn't obsess over Godzilla like I did. Um, and so we that started me back up on obsessing over Godzilla because it was like it kind of gone dormant for a while. Like I was obsessed
Yes.
as like a kid, and look like I was still yeah, I got obsessed again actually when I found the Heisei series um with Godzilla versus Biollante and onward. Um it was
Yeah.
kind of magical at the time actually because I remember growing up, me and my dad we thought that Godzilla 1985 or the Return of Godzilla was the last Godzilla movie that was made, and I would dream about finding like Godzilla movies I had never heard of in like movie stores, and because like it was before the internet, and so like like I found like a compendium of Godzilla movies at the library at some point. There was like a book, but like before that, it was like, and that only went up to like Godzilla 1985, and so
Oh,
and 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 so I thought that was where like it all stopped. But then I remember going into a Suncoast video and finding Godzilla versus Biollante, and I was like, what is this? And it looks good. It looks what? And so I brought that to my dad's. We watched that. My my mind was blown. Um, then I found a GFan magazine at a comic book store and end up getting membership with that, and that's how I found out about the films that came after, which at the time were just the Heisei. And I was devastated to find out that they had just ended the Godzilla series with Godzilla versus Destroyer. Um, even though I
yeah.
was like, oh, I'm finding there are more Godzilla movies, and they just stopped making them, at least for a while, anyway. And then I went to what was at the time it was called G-Con, but it would become G Fest. Um, and I went to the one in 1997, and which I think might have been the last
When I
one
was born.
that was when you were born. Oh my god!
Yes.
I went to my first G Fest when you were born, my only G Fest actually. After that, Daikaiju Enterprises lost the name G-Con for the convention and became G Fest. And some other company got the name G-Con because I guess they had I don't know how all that copyright stuff ended up working out, but some other people ended up taking over G-Con, and I went to a G-Con in 1999 after my GFan membership had lapsed, and didn't realize that this is not the same people, not the same thing. It was much smaller scale. I made a friend there that I'm still friends with to this day. The friends that I made at the 1997 one, I lost their address information and never got back, and like was never able to like find them after because it was before the internet. But
The most 90s thing I've heard all day.
when did we first become interested in Godzilla? I've been talking a lot. I'll
And
let
you
you take
just
this
kind of
one.
dove into that. Yeah, man. For
I'll let you
me,
take that question first. Yeah, I'm gonna go and grab some Sprite. I'll be right back.
uh, oh, all good. So for me, I remember, for the 98 Godzilla, we called Gino because Godzilla in name only, Gino. Remember that one was coming out, and my dad had this like piggy bank based off of it, right? And I'd always go push the button when I was 2 or 3, and I'd love the way it sounded, thought it was so cool. And then they came out with Godzilla 2000 right after because, 98 Godzilla sucked. Everyone knows it. It's fact. It's fact. Uh, so that movie comes out. We got both of them on VHS. I'm 3 years old. I'm learning how to put stuff in the VHS. And I wore that tape out on the Godzilla 2000. I hardly ever even watched the 98 one. And then it was 2001 when everyone was pushing all the DVDs coming up. My dad worked at Blockbuster. So we ended up with most of the VHSs for Godzilla. So I had like old stuff like versus The Thing as it was called, which was Mothra, that was the American sending, versus the Sea Monster, which was Ebera. Like I had old versions of these movies. I was 4 or 5 years old, just watching all these tapes. I fell in love with Godzilla. It was the coolest thing ever. And then Final Wars came out 2004, and that was the last thing of Godzilla that came out, and it broke my heart until like Legendary came in with their Godzilla, and then we had Shin Godzilla. It was so worth it being a Godzilla fan my whole life, for Shin to finally come out. Those were my developmental years, man.
For me,
So
um,
yeah.
so yours started with the 1997 Godzilla. Is that what you said?
Yeah, basically, like I mean,
That makes sense
basically
because you were born
a
right then.
year old. Yeah, I was a year old because it came out in '98. Uh, so like that was all still popular back then. And then my dad working at Blockbuster, I got to see, all the DVDs or VHSs they came out with first because they came in on Fridays. They stocked them Tuesdays. So me and my dad would just have like a weekend marathon of these movies. Awesome. And I was like 6 years old then.
For Godzilla 97, I remember I went to the first showing at the local theater. Me and my friends went, and they gave out these like I think they were like stills, and they were in like a green sleeve that said Godzilla on it, and I thought that was really cool. I ended up being disappointed in the movie in a lot of ways, but I was all hyped up when it first came out, and I was all excited, and then I ended up getting a little mad at the film later on. When I don't know, I guess I fell into the hate train against the movie, but I enjoy it now. But it's they made him so squishy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It felt like a missed opportunity. Like there was so much more potential for
Mm,
that movie, and they kind of like they could have done more with it. And that's kind of my thing I hold against it. They could have done more.
I
And like
think
it's
part
just kind of like a dinosaur movie with the name.
I think part of it for me was that I think I was still trying to I think I still thought it was going to be Godzilla versus Griffin,
Oh yeah.
and and so when it turned out that it was like a solo Godzilla movie and stuff like I don't know I was a little disappointed. I remember being a kid and like hearing about oh there's a movie coming out Godzilla versus the Griffin, and it was going to be I guess it turned out it was going to be Stan Winston working on it and stuff, and then that of course never ended up happening, but I believe the script is online if anyone ever wants to read it, and I know fans have made like a comic like comic scenes and stuff. There's a partial comic book out of it, but yeah. For me with Godzilla, it started with probably Godzilla 1980. Well, no, my dad says that the first Godzilla movie I ever saw was King Kong versus Godzilla. Yeah, the 1997
Solid choice.
the 1997 one's the one with Matthew Broderick, and but yeah, so King Kong versus Godzilla was apparently the first one I had seen, and then when Godzilla 1984 came out on tape, my dad bought that, and I watched that like over and over and over again. And so from there it was all I had was the Showa Godzilla movies, and so like I watched I think the ones I watched on repeat were probably Godzilla versus Gigan, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, and Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. Those were the ones I watched the most.
Yeah,
And
that kind of sounds like me too.
I fast
Dude,
forward
look,
to the
I
fights a
always
lot of
hated
times.
Jun Fukudas.
Hey, we have a new person. Hi, Rider Game.
Hello.
So let's see. So yeah, that was where I started with Godzilla. My dad was big into Godzilla. Um and he was big into like old sci-fi cartoons and stuff. Still is. But yeah, and then my mom and my stepdad, they're really big into horror for the most part. Um and horror and action. Which is funny. I'm not really into action movies as much, but I love the horror films too. And been kind of addicted to horror movies for like the past 2 years. And like, sadly, I've been doing less with the kaiju the past few years. I've been watching mostly horror movies, but I'm also involved in
Yeah,
like,
kind of same.
I'm also like, I watch Lady Shasha stream a lot, and she is awesome. Um, and oh, I need to drop a link to her as well. Um, and she covers pretty much just horror movies. She'll cover some sci-fi, but mostly like sci-fi with horror elements. And then there's Julie B Deep Dives and Sci-Fi Vision. They cover mostly sci-fi or sci-fi horror. And then there's Tony. He covers popular scary shows.
Yeah. And then there's us, and we just cover the random B movie kaiju stuff that we can find so we can support the art.
So what's your favorite horror movie?
Me, oh god, that's difficult.
Hmm.
What's yours? I'm gonna let you take that one. I
I have
was
five.
raised
So I'm
on
just gonna
these.
say some of my favorites. I know I'm probably gonna forget some, so let's see. I loved Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Um, there's a movie called Heartless that was really good. That one's a hidden gem. Uh, Puppet Master 4 and 5, especially Puppet Master 4. Let's
Yeah,
see, crud. Stephen King. Well, Pet Cemetery. Pet Cemetery is also one of my favorite horror movies. The original, probably, even though the cat sound effects in that are terrible. Um,
yeah, they're awful.
yeah, pretty bad. Um, oh, and the Phantasm franchise and the Halloween franchise. I love most of the Halloween
Yes.
movies, except I don't really like the one that was like a reality show too much. But pretty much all the others I loved. Um, and then the Phantasm films, I pretty much loved all of those too. Those were incredible movies,
I mean, rip Angus Scrimm, man.
right?
It was.
Acting,
I remember
acting
watching
right,
that
right
movie in
until
kindergarten.
yeah, he was insisting on being in that final Phantasm movie and was literally on his deathbed, acting in the film. That takes dedication. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Man, I haven't watched those since Ravager was like new. We ought to do a rewatch.
I haven't seen that. Let's see. Amy says she loves The Ring, The Grudge, Stephen King movies. Ah, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. I love those too. Halloween, the originals mostly, and Tales from the Crypt growing up. I love Tales from the Crypt, but I can only like watch so much of it at like a time. It's like just everyone in Tales from the Crypt, like they're all terrible people. They're all terrible, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I don't know. I gotta say, Pumpkinhead is one of my favorites. But I also wore the VHS tape out on Poltergeist when I was itty bitty, and on the
Oh, I
Nightmare
like
on Elm
those
Street
as a kid too.
movies. Yeah, I didn't like two and three of Poltergeist so much, and I didn't really watch those. They were kind of eh. But man, that first one is just good.
I really liked two and three as a kid, but it was just disappointing because three kind of like leaves at a cliffhanger, and then of course the actress passed
Yeah,
away tragically.
yeah,
Let's see.
shame.
And Lori says she likes psychological horror like The Shining, The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, and The Omen. Those are all excellent movies too.
Yeah.
Oh, and The Thing. The Thing has become one of my newer favorites.
Oh, I mean, the thing is classic, of course. When I think horror, I don't even think of that because that's like my favorite suspenseful movie, Because he managed to hype it up to like 11 on that. I love John
And
Carpenter in general.
oh, and I guess the first one is kind of horror. Gremlins. I'm of course
Yeah,
obsessed with
yeah, I
Gremlins,
could see that, of course.
but the second one, not so much horror. It's got, I guess, a couple of like horror-ish elements, but it's mostly comedy.
I never really, I never cared for the second one because it wasn't a
Really?
horror. Like, I
Oh
never
man,
liked Gremlins 2.
I loved them both for different reasons, and so like I would watch them both like over and over again as a kid. I saw Gremlins 2 in theaters. That's how old I am. Um, but yeah. Oh, can you see this guy? Is he actually showing up?
Do what? Oh, yeah,
Oh, there he
he
is.
kind of shows up.
Kind of shows up. He kind of
Kind of.
also goes through everything. Oh,
Oh, and my ADD brain wants me to mention The Fog because of John Carpenter. Like, he's another, it's another movie by him. It's also so good. I loved it as a kid. And they remade it with Tom Welling Superman, and it wasn't good.
Dolly Dearest. I haven't heard of Dolly Dearest. I've heard of Mommy Dearest.
Well,
Ah,
you know
yes.
that D isn't a letter that she can't use.
Oh, huh. But yeah, Halloween 3 was really good, even though it's not like a Michael Myers film. That's if it was just called Season of the Witch, people would have enjoyed it a lot more. And because I feel like people go to watch it sometimes and like they expect it to be a Michael Myers film, and then they realize, wait, this is not a Michael Myers film, and then they get disappointed.
So
But
have you seen the fan theory about like the mask being what took him over that night? And like that's how they're actually related?
oh
That
no,
like
I
it's
haven't
one of the
seen that.
masks and that
That's
like
funny.
the mask malfunctioned or something and made him invincible so he can't die?
Huh. Who is this? Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, the Buffy movie. Yep, that was a great movie. I
Yeah.
saw that in theaters. Gremlins in the Mist. I saw The Fog. A friend's mom showed that to us. She said it was a really, really scary movie. Um, I didn't find it terrifying as a kid,
Oh, for
but
sure, no.
that's because I mean I was already watching stuff like Hellraiser by the time she showed it to me, and her son
Right.
was a bit more sheltered. Like they didn't allow like swearing in the house or anything. And I remember I got yelled at for saying was it darn or something once or heck? I can't remember.
One of them households.
And
I
Jason
was
X.
lucky to Yeah, Jason X. Man, that one I was so excited for. I don't even know why. Like when it came out, I was so excited, but it was lame.
I see. When it came out in theaters, I thought it was going to be lame from the trailers, but then my best friend at the time, Eric, I don't know if it was him or his mom or his stepdad, but or his brother, but someone in the family rented it, and then they ended up going and buying it because like it became like a favorite at like house at our like teenage house parties because it was just so funny and kind of like off the walls. Um, so I actually really appreciate Jason X. I really enjoyed it. I really liked that one. Um, it, you definitely can't watch it expecting it to be a like a scary movie. It's more of like a fun movie.
Yeah, and that came out when I was really young and like still watching and appreciating the Friday the 13th movies, you know? Like
Oh,
I don't remember when it came out, but I was itty bitty.
Lori mentioned Scream. Oh man, I remember
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the first one yet. And then my friends told me, "Oh, you have to watch this. The second one's coming out." And I can't remember if I watched the first one right before watching the second one, or if I rented it immediately after I watched the second one. But me and my friends went to go and see it in theaters. And my my dad dropped us off, and I think he bought the tickets for us. This way we could get in. And I think they made him buy an extra ticket, and he was kind of pissed about that because he had to actually pretend he was going in with us. Um, and then me and my friends were sitting down, and some people came in. They're checking tickets to make sure that everyone's of age or there with people. And so um, they they come. They ask us, "Are you here with anyone?" And I looked to the people that were the family that was right on the side of me, and oh, thank goodness, the guy waves. The father of the family, he just smiles and waves, and they said, and the ticket people said, "Okay," and they left. And I was like, "Oh my god,
Man, that's
this
cool.
young dad saved our butts." There were like five of
That's
us.
dope.
Oh man, yeah. So we saw Scream too. Um, all right, so yeah, Shin Godzilla, spoiler-free stuff. Um, let's see. So Shin Godzilla was probably the first Godzilla horror movie or horror-ish Godzilla movie since the original. Because like I
Right,
really,
yes.
as a kid, I liked the original. Like I respected it. Like I knew it was a good movie, but it was a sad movie, and it was kind of scary.
Yeah.
And now as an adult, I look at it, it's like, oh my god, that was actually a horror movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure, man. It hits heavy, especially when like that mom's like trying to protect them kids. Oh,
And in the hospital scenes, those were rough.
oh, Julie says, congrats. Hey, Julie.
Oh, Julie's here. Hey, Julie. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming by. Yep, and hey, and Carl too. Woohoo!
Yo.
Good. That means that the plane did not crash. I
Okay,
didn't hear
good,
any
good.
reports. I didn't hear any reports of plane crashes though, so I figured we were probably pretty
Yeah.
good.
I don't think I knew they were on a plane. Else
But
I probably would have thought of that.
but so yeah, we are talking about Shin Godzilla. But yeah, oh so yeah, the original movie was actually really scary. Like watching it as an adult too. Like it's just it's a horror movie for like different reasons. It's more psychological and emotional. Um,
Yeah.
and then with Shin Godzilla, they went right into body horror and biological horror with that one. I loved the gruesome look of the various forms of Godzilla throughout that film. Um,
Yes.
and they, they left out quite a bit of the stuff that would have made it even more horrific. But I'll talk about that a little bit later when we get to the spoiler parts. Um, and let's see.
Yeah.
What were your favorite horror elements? Well, I don't know. Hold on. Uh, I don't know. I'll let you riff on it. You talk about Shin Godzilla a little.
Man, so like, I'm pretty sure I didn't even know there was an English dub until like you. So like, I mean, it was always the subs, and I guess I didn't quite catch on to the fact that they all kind of acted more robotic. Like, I mean, I was in it. I loved it. I never even paid attention to that robotic manner of theirs until after I had seen reviews. Like, I mean, it didn't catch me like that. I just thought the bureaucracy was like that, you know? Like, and then with the actual scenes, like I thought that it was all CGI, but then like come to find out that there's a lot of practical effects in it too. It was beautiful, man.
Well,
Very beautiful. It really just, I loved it.
so now there weren't any practical effects for Godzilla except for the tail. At least not that they end up using in the final cut. Um, they
Well, I
did
don't
use, I
mean for
think,
him. I mean for like, yeah,
a couple. I think they used a couple of puppets. No, I think they had meant to use puppets, and I think they had filmed scenes of them. But they did use like a miniature set, like miniatures and stuff.
yeah. I always love that part of it. I love the miniatures. Looking at the little tanks going by, and you're like, oh man, I wonder how big that actually is.
I love how every Godzilla movie they have to send the tanks against him. You know that they're just gonna get destroyed, but of course the tanks are gonna go in. At least this is a fresh a fresh Godzilla. They haven't seen Godzilla before, so they don't know what they're heading to. But it's always good to see
Yeah.
that impending death march of theirs. But let's see what else for Shin Godzilla. Had some pacing issues, but ultimately it was good. I'm trying to see what else I can say that isn't like too much of a spoiler. So all right, so well, for Shin Godzilla, it was made by, as many people know, the makers of Neon Genesis Evangelion, um, and so it's got a. I should probably bring up the IMDb page so I'm not butchering names here.
It was Hideaki Anno and I don't remember the other guy. I don't remember his name. They've
Well, it's
hurried
his
me
last
so
name that
much.
I get the first syllable of his last name wrong like every time, which is why I'm trying. Shinji Higuchi. Okay. Sometimes I accidentally say Haguchi or Heiguchi, and it's like, no, that's not right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hideaki Anno and Shinji Higuchi, and so that's also partly where it gets the name Shin Godzilla from Shinji's name, um, and also in most movies that he makes, there's a character that's got Shin in his name. Um, but Shin in Japanese can mean true. It can mean new. It can also mean God. So you can think of it as the new true God, Godzilla, as the meaning of the name,
yeah,
um, or have your pick. And that movie revived Godzilla, well, the Japanese version of Godzilla. Um, like so, in 2014, legendary release, Godzilla. 2014, the American blockbuster that started off the MonsterVerse, and that movie was impressive, but it I remember like thinking, okay, it was good, but I don't think that they're going to make any more American films after this. I didn't hear enough people liking it. And then Shin Godzilla came out, and then that got me really pumped for Godzilla again because they're the fans were just so excited about it. It was a massive success in Japan. To this day, Shin Godzilla is actually the like it's the biggest and most successful Godzilla film in Japan. Um, Godzilla minus one did better internationally, but for in the country
Yeah.
itself, Shin Godzilla was far more popular. And a lot of that had to do with it was the politics were very timely. It was commenting on the politics of the time, on the politics that impeded disaster relief and management efforts during the triple disaster of was it March 11th?
Yep.
Yeah, the 3/11
Yeah.
disaster. So that was the tsunami, the meltdown of Fukushima Daiichi, and the earthquake, and um, a lot of the Japanese public felt that the government mismanaged the situation. They didn't respond timely enough. Things got kind of stuck in like committee hell, basically. They committed everything to death, and yeah, it slowed the reaction time, and lives were lost as a result. And so
Yeah.
Shin Godzilla really plays on a lot of that, and um, that's why it was so successful. All right, we got a. Okay, I'll highlight that in a moment. Do you have anything else that you think that you want to say about the spoiler-free part, or for the
I don't
spoiler-free
know.
part?
I'm trying not to say any spoilers really. Uh, I was afraid that I already had kind of, but I mean, I don't know. I really enjoyed the movie so much when it came out. Let me get some water.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I can't read it and highlight it at the same time. Uh, oh, I highlighted the wrong one. All right. Oh, well, I can read it if I go over here. Um, let's see. Speaking of Godzilla, what's your favorite Godzilla? What are your favorite Godzilla games? Mine is Godzilla Unleashed on Wii. I know the controls suck since it's on the Wii, but I still love it. That was a really popular game.
Dude,
That game was great if you had like other controllers besides like the nunchuck and stuff to play it with.
I didn't have that. All I had was Godzilla on Super Nintendo, and then Gigabash has a Godzilla DLC, and that's about it.
Oh, you had Super Godzilla?
Yeah, it was hard. I could not beat it, so I gave it to my uncle. It's
Ah,
like 8 or 9 or something.
ah. I have to unmorph. I have to unhenshin. That's my timer. Uno moment. Uno momento. I will be back.
We dope.
And all right, I'm still here. I just have to take these darn goggles off before I start seeing green along with the red.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend I
All
know
right, I'm
exactly what
back.
that means.
Oh, after like an hour and a half of wearing the goggles, I start seeing green as well as red because like they're red lenses, and so like I start seeing like the complete opposite as my eyes like tire.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah,
And when
yeah.
things
It's good
move,
to
it
tweak
will
them
like
off.
create like a green shadow.
That's kind of cool, but kind of terrifying.
Yeah, it's very trippy. And when I have them on, it's like I have like tunnel vision. It's a little weird. Very disorienting.
I only imagine.
Yeah, I didn't have Super Godzilla. A friend of mine had rented it, and I got to play it. But I had Godzilla and Godzilla 2 for the regular Nintendo. And that Godzilla game, that game was freaking awesome. And I'm sad because when I thought that I was moving and we were fundraising, I sold Godzilla and Godzilla 2 and a bunch of other NES games. And now I kind
Oh,
of regret it. Yeah, I also sold
yeah.
I sold the my Godzilla PlayStation game. PlayStation was it PlayStation 3 game? I think it was, or PlayStation 4 game. It's really
I
expensive.
know
It's
I've
like
seen
three
a
hundred
lot of it
dollars or
on
$200 now.
PS4.
I got like I think I
Yeah,
got I think I got like 200 for it or 100 and something. But I remember at the time that that game came out, it was very difficult to play, and then they patched it and actually made it into a good game. And by that time, I had to get rid of it because I needed the money, or I
yeah,
thought I
I feel
did.
that.
We didn't end up moving, but we spent a lot of money in our failed attempt to move. We lost deposits and other stuff. But yeah. Oh well, life goes
Ryder
on.
Gamer said something about Batra being in Super Godzilla, and now I regret getting rid of it. I love Batra. He's my favorite.
Yeah, I love Batra too.
That was my favorite Godzilla for the longest time. That and Smog Monster. Those two, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, ranking favorite Godzilla movies for me is difficult. And like it's all going to be subjective for me, and it really depends
Yeah,
on my mood. Like I appreciate different. I can't really say I have a favorite. I can say that like I think like I like certain movies for certain reasons, or I think certain movies are better in such and such a way. Like I think Godzilla minus one is probably the best written um, character story to ever be in
yeah,
a Godzilla movie. Um, like you care about those characters watching that movie, and by the end, if
yeah.
you're
You
not
do
crying, there's something wrong with you.
right.
When we had the watch party, I don't think there was like a single dry eye at the end.
Oh, definitely not, man. Every time I watch it, it just like moves me down to the heart. Like that final line, beautiful.
Shadow Skulk, hi Shadow Skulk.
Oh, what's up? I'm paying attention to the actual comments over here.
Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be clicking them. And then Dita says, "Please like, share, and subscribe." Yes, please do. Thank you. And if you do those things, a giant monster may not stomp on your house and just stomp on your neighbor's houses instead. Should I come to your planet, your version of Earth? Let's see here. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, because like subjectively, I still feel like it's it's hard. Pro- Sometimes I want to say Godzilla versus Biollante. Sometimes I want to say Godzilla versus Mothra, the 1992 one, which is the only one that's
Yeah,
technically called Godzilla versus Mothra. Um, and the 1993 Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, that's also a personal favorite of mine. The introduction of Baby, and it's got Miki Sugusa in it with with the Psychic Kids, and it's got Rodan, it's got Godzilla, it's got Mechagodzilla. The soundtrack to that movie was phenomenal. They also started playing with CG a little bit, which was very, very flawed, but it was
Yeah.
as a kid, it was like fun to see them actually like trying to do it with Godzilla. Um, and I enjoyed it. That was a great movie. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of there with you and not being able to like have a favorite, but I can definitely say that there are ones that I don't like. You know, like versus Ebra, I never liked it. It felt like the stupidest enemy for Godzilla. Come to find out that it's actually supposed to be a Kong movie. You know,
See, it's funny because that there are certain Godzilla movies that are really good movies, but they're really bad Godzilla movies, and I feel like that's one of them because I really enjoyed that movie as a kid, but not as a Godzilla movie. I just enjoyed it as kind of like a fun adventure film. Um, and there was, and then there's also like Godzilla versus Monster Zero, which is a terrible Godzilla movie, but it's an excellent science fiction movie. It's a classic science fiction movie,
yeah,
but as a Godzilla movie, no. It's like Godzilla and Rodan could be taken out of the movie. Godzilla, Rodan, King Ghidorah could be taken out of the movie, and you'd still have a complete whole and cohesive film that is still good in classic sci-fi,
yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah, for sure. I think a part of my gripe and groan against Ebra is that I had Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, and then I had Godzilla versus Ebra, both of them on VHS cassettes. And so I got them confused. Come to find out they're literally the same movie anyway, just with some like minor dub changes or whatever. And
Mm.
like, so I watched it, fast forwarded to the fights. I'm like, this is kind of lame, but him doing the claw like that, it's one of the most baller moves I've ever seen Godzilla do. It's like ripping someone's leg off and waving it above your ear, you know?
It's like an Ultraman move. Like they do stuff like that in Ultraman.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Let's see. Ryder says that he wishes that there was a Shin Godzilla sequel. Well, they're working on it. Supposedly, we might get
They
a Shin
sure
Godzilla
are.
sequel. They had announced that they're working on what is it? How did they say, like, follow up project or something like that? But apparently, according to D-Man, people in Japan have been saying for a while now, oh yeah, they're making a Shin Godzilla sequel. Um, and So it's looking like the Godzilla versus minus one sequel will come out first, and then it will be the Shin Godzilla sequel. So we'll probably see Godzilla, the new Godzilla versus the new Godzilla minus one sequel will probably come out before Godzilla Kong Supernova, right? I think they're aiming to get it out
Yeah, I
before
think
then.
so. I think it's like the November before.
Yeah, because they can't put them out the same year for their
Yeah.
agreement. Um, so if so, I think they're hoping that they will have everything done because I know they've already started production of everything. They're aiming to have it done by the end of 2026. This way, Godzilla Kong can come out in 2027. Um, and I don't think that they are going to delay Godzilla Kong again. The script apparently has already been leaked, supposedly, um, for Godzilla Kong Supernova, and the movie doesn't come out until 2027. So I don't think they're going to delay it again. So if they don't get the new Godzilla minus one sequel out in time, then I think it's going to be tough cookies. They're going to have to wait until 2028. Um, but I think they're hoping to get Shin Godzilla 2 out in 2028.
Yeah, and I'm still kind of on the fence on if I want a sequel to either of them or if I want them to just be untarnished masterpieces. But we're getting what we're getting, so I'm gonna have to live with it, huh?
Let's see. Shadow Skulk says, delighted to see you all. Fresh breath there after a rough week. Oh, well, a stressful weekend. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm glad
Sweet.
that you can spend some time with us, and hopefully you know you have some virtual company, and hopefully that helps. I know I like hanging out in lives when I'm stressed out, and when I was in the ER recently, and it's funny because like I'm like sitting among all these strangers, but here I am on my phone. I've got my headphones in, and I'm sitting on lives with my friends. It's like so I'm not really completely alone.
Yeah,
Hubby
no,
wanted to
you're
come
never
with me.
alone.
Hubby wanted to come with me, but I was like, no, I don't. I don't know if like there are gonna be sick people in there. We don't need both of us getting sick. So
Uh,
I had demanded that
yeah, it makes
he
sense.
stay home, and that's actually a good question. Yeah, yeah, I would be down for that. What I would actually probably prefer to see is the continuation of older series in animated form. So, like, I'd like to see like animated films that maybe like return to the Showa era timeline and do something else in that storyline. Similar with the Heisei era, although we're already getting that with the Heisei era, or we were getting the Gemstone um, CG animated shorts with Godzilla Jr. taking over, taking over after Godzilla, after the second Godzilla's death. Um,
Yeah, Gigan Rex is pretty sick too. I just gotta intercede to say that. Gigan
oh yeah,
Rex is awesome.
yeah, that was probably my favorite out of the Gemstone shorts. The Megalon one was good as well, but that G versus Gigan Rex, that was good. That was good stuff.
So for the animated film, this is personally me, because Smog Monster is already halfway there, and like Bono definitely left it open for a sequel, and he always wanted to make that sequel. Well, we could have that animated sequel. That'd be so cool.
And I've noticed that the new AI tools also are really effective at animating stills of like Suitmation Godzilla and giving it like really good effects. I had animated a meme, um, and I had it use its atomic breath in the meme. Like I was like, all right, have Godzilla breathe its atomic breath on the tanks, and that was like probably the most realistic atomic breath I've ever seen. The way it came out, the way things exploded and everything. I'm like, oh my god, they could take Suitmation and with combine it with digital and AI effects, and they could still do an amazing job and be like pretty convincing. I don't know. I just part of me really wants them to return to Suitmation and find a way for them to make it work effectively. But I do enjoy they're doing great with the CG, and people do prefer that. But I just
Is it a
love the
spoiler
memes.
to say? I'm sorry. Is it a spoiler to say that Shin Godzilla is kind of Suitmation? I don't think it is, because it's how he was made. But he's still a little Suitmation.
Well, he was yeah. Well, so he was inspired by Suitmation. They do So now the replacement for Suitmation is motion capture, and like they had a really good motion capture actor for Shin Godzilla. Um, I can't remember his name. It's in the notes. Eventually, when we do a full deep dive, we'll go over it. But he was like pretty much born and raised into this type of theatrical dance, this form of theatrical dance that's like really formal, but also it's like a comedy form. It, Interesting stuff. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but when
Spooky.
he did the motion capture, he actually requested a Godzilla mask to wear for it, and he had to make it out of wood, like the traditional masks of that art style. And so, yeah, in a way, it was Suitmation, just different. And then
Yeah,
there was a part that they
yeah.
kind of used. All right, yeah. All right. then we also watched the Primevals.
Yeah, I definitely watched it. I have feelings about this movie. I have very, very many feelings about this movie. Let me just go ahead and say that now.
So, the Primevals is a movie that got its start in the 1960s. At the end of the 60s, it was a project by this incredibly brilliant and talented stop motion effects artist, David Allen. He made like Q the Flying Serpent, ton of other movies. He trained under Ray Harryhausen, if I remember correctly, and but he passed away before the movie could be made. So they did the filming in like the 1990s. He had like I think in the 1970s he had managed to link up with Charles Band of Full Moon Pictures and Moonbeam Entertainment, which I think it was Full Moon Entertainment probably at the time too, because it's he's had to change the name a few times due to bankruptcy. I think right, something like
Yeah.
that. And but but he did the thing. He eventually got it done. But yeah, they did the filming in the 90s, and then he recently did some fundraising and got it completed. He's been doing that lately with movies that they never finished. There was the Tony Todd movie. I can't remember the name of it. The Cutters Club or something, I think it was called. Um, I started watching it. It wasn't really my type of movie, but yeah. So Charles Band has been kind of like going and trying to like tie up these loose ends. He's in his 70s, so he's probably trying to do that before he passes. Um, and so he finished the Primevals, and I so there are things about it that I loved, and then there are things about it I'm like, oh man, this what am I watching right now? What is happening? Um,
Yeah.
I'll let you take over now. Now, go ahead.
I mean, like, without spoiling anything, it is much better than you would expect for it being like, I think they did like I don't remember what it's called, but they did some kind of like test reel for it in like the early 70s or something. I was reading that earlier, the sizzle reel. And then they came back and filmed it in the 90s. And then they released it in 2023. And like, I don't know, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be for sure. I thought it was going to be a lot worse stitched together. Thought
Hmm.
scenes would just kind of jut into each other. I didn't know how good the stop motion was going to be. I didn't watch any trailers. I can say the stop motion's superb. I loved it. It's one of like my main notes of the movie. Loved the stop motion. It was great.
They are bad.
Um, yeah, I mean that's kind of all I got for it, without spoiling too much.
So I loved the effects in it. I thought that they were beautifully done. I thought that for the most part it's pretty good. Like it's a movie that's like 90s slash earlier style. It's got stop motion in it. So it's got a certain look that I've come to like kind of expect from something like that. And I thought it looked amazing for what it was. There was a part in the beginning um, that didn't look believable. So the Primevals is a movie. Basically, it's without giving too much away. Um, the scientists discover um, a Yeti, basically in was it Nepal, and they gather people together to go and investigate. And there are complications, to say the least. We're talking about a movie called The
Yeah,
Primevals now, um, which is and so like what was I saying? Oh yeah, it reminded me of a Moonbeam Entertainment film, which was the family subsidiary of Full Moon Pictures, and there there were some really good entries in Moonbeam, like Dragon World, Dinotop, not Dinotopia, Oh, that's the one. Dinosaurus was
Yeah,
it?
no, I don't think it's Dinotopia.
Yeah, not Dinotopia. I think it was Dinosaurus or something. No, Dinosaurus is the one with the Kaiju dinosaur. That was a Kaiju dinosaurs. That was a good movie. Um, I don't know, it's the one with the little dinosaurs. Prehysteria. Those movies. Those were a lot of fun. Um, so it's kind of like along those lines as far as like family entertainment. Um, and the story, it was without giving anything away. It was there. There was a story. It happened.
Yeah, you got from point A.
I went from point A to point B. There were some surprises thrown in there. I enjoyed some of the twists. The movie starts off a little slow, picks up at about 36 minutes in, and then at that point it had me entertained. But the acting was where it really struggled. I felt like a lot of the lines were forced, really awkward dialogue among people. Um, the
Yeah,
acting just wasn't
yeah.
believable.
Uh, yeah, that was definitely in my notes as well. One specific person, in fact.
The older female doctor.
No,
No, oh, she was
no,
she had some really rough points for me.
she had some rough points, but that girl, I don't remember her exact name, but it was the younger one. No, no, girl. She would say a line, and it was like she was in a whole different movie. Like,
Yeah, the
oh man,
when yeah, let me pull up the IMDb page so I can actually like say their names.
Walker Branch.
But I
I
remember
wrote her name down.
when the professor lady was talking to the is it Nepalese? Is that what they prefer to be
I
called?
think so. I think
Um,
so. I don't
the
know about the
the
Nepal.
young the young man that they put in like clothing that was like not warm enough for compared to what everyone else was wearing. Everyone else was wearing like these like
Yeah.
90s bright colored like ski jacket type of things. And then we have this one guy, he's supposed to be from Nepal. So like they're like, oh, so this is like a cold area. We're gonna dress him up in this costume. Even though this costume it's clearly not as warm as what these folks are wearing.
So I wrote his name down. I do have his name. His name is
Siku?
Tai Tai.
That's the actor's name.
Oh yeah.
That's like
Well,
being named Matt Pratt.
they, I know. I don't know. I forgot his actual character name. I wrote the
I thought it
actor
was
people's names.
Siku or something. Um, let's see.
Yeah,
Yep, I had it
Siku.
right. Siku. That was literally the only name I remembered too. Um, so the female doctor was Dr. Claire Collier. Then we had Matt Connor, who was the Yeti enthusiast. Then we had Rondo Montana, who was the safari hunter. And then we had Kathleen, who was another Yeti professor lady, I think. And
Kathleen? No, she was one of the people that lived there, like in the area, and gave him
okay,
a guide.
but she was also into Yeti stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. She was some kind of scientist. She knew the scientist lady.
And then she hooked them up with the guy Siku. He was the guy,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
thought it was like her little brother or something. Yeah, there's like five people in it. Five and a half.
like
Five and a half people.
there are other people, but like they're only in like the beginning of the movie, and then like ever all the other people, yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. And Big Chung, yes, he asked, when are we getting another Pacific Rim movie? Hmm, I don't know.
I don't think we are.
I don't know if we are. I'd like to see one, but I didn't actually get to see all of the second season of Pacific Rim: The Black. I do need to finish that, but I know that the anime. I don't think the anime was well received, or at least not the second season. Um, I really enjoyed what I saw of it, though, and I know the second Pacific Rim movie was also not well received. I actually liked it more than the first one for some reason. I know it's blasphemy, but for some reason I remember being
I
more
thought it was
entertained by it.
all right. It was
Was it?
okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, to be honest, I think what I heard was about the time that they were doing the MonsterVerse declassified little comics for them. They were also talking about making a Pacific Rim comic that takes place after the movies and stuff. That's supposed to like end it all. I think it's supposed to
Okay.
take place in the third movie. That's the last I heard, but that was a while back now.
I know that there are a lot of MonsterVerse fans that want a crossover movie.
They had talks about it toward the beginning, but then it just kind of everyone decided, nah, that probably wouldn't be great.
I feel like it would ruin MonsterVerse. I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I think it's good to keep them separate, but who knows? Eventually, you know, 20 years from now, they might be fishing for money and be like, "All right, we're making it." After Del Toro's
Yeah.
dead and gone, they'll be like, "Oh, we don't have anyone else to offend,
Yeah.
so we'll do what we want now."
Yeah.
All right, so
I don't
now,
know.
do we want to start discussing spoilers for Shin Godzilla?
If everyone's ready, I think we're ready. I
You all
mean,
ready for
I don't know how to
spoilers?
like not spoil stuff.
We don't have a
Let's see.
banner for it. I don't know how to do the banner stuff yet,
Do we have
but
a Hulk? We
what'd
don't
you
have a
say?
banner, but do we have a Hulk?
A Hulk?
A Hulk, like
Oh,
a big
gotcha.
old smashy Hulk.
Like Bruce Banner, gotcha.
It'd be funny if we were to like put a Hulk up there that says spoilers across just to warn people. Instead of a banner, we got a Hulk.
That would be awesome. Maybe in the
That'd be
future if
great.
we get a paid account to StreamYard.
Yeah.
Let's subscribe messages. Okay. Oh, and thank you, Dieter, for posting to Discord. All right, so
Yeah,
Shin
I didn't even
Godzilla.
see.
It's like, which one do you like? Oh, Shadow Sculpt likes Alien Resurrection. See, when I was when I saw Alien Resurrection in theaters and I was disappointed at the time. But as an adult going back and watching it, I actually enjoy that movie. Um, my my ex that was really into sci-fi, he really enjoyed Alien Resurrection, and it was one of the movies that he would like play in the background sometimes while playing video games. Eventually, I got sick of rewatching it, but because he was kind of like that with movies. He'd like just like have them on like playing in the background, kind of on a loop. Sometimes we'd have like movie playlists, and yeah, that one would come up a lot.
I don't remember it anymore. Like I watched all four of those when I was still in elementary school. So it's been a while because my dad was like, "Hey man, let's have a marathon where we watch the first two Alien movies." And I was like, "Man, these are both so good." And then we watched Alien to the third, you know, and it was okay. And then I don't remember Resurrection at all.
Uh-huh. It's it's funny because I didn't really remember Alien 2, not Alien 2, Aliens growing up. I remember I had seen it, but I didn't remember a whole lot about it. Hey, Samuel's here. Hi, Samuel.
Oh, what's up,
And
Samuel?
I ended up rewatching it as an adult, and I guess I'd only seen Aliens like once as a kid, and for some reason just saw the first one and the third one a bunch. Um, but it wasn't until recently that I realized there was a director's cut that adds like another like think like 34 minutes to the movie. And
I
I
did
like
not know that.
I started so I was listening to a bit of the audiobook, and there was a scene in it that I was like, oh, I don't remember. Oh, I wish they'd shown this in the movie. And then I started watching the director's cut, and there it was. And I'm like, wait, I don't remember. And at first, I didn't realize I was watching a director's cut. It wasn't something that had like occurred to me that it was like an extended version. Um, and then I went on to it. Was it Hulu? I think that had aliens on it, and I started watching that version. And sure enough, that scene is not in it. And I'm like, oh, holy crap! This the other version's like over a half hour longer. And yeah, so there are different versions of that movie. I think there are different. There are also different versions of Alien 3.
I feel cheated because I never
And
knew this.
yeah, and depending on the version you watch of Alien 3, the alien is born from a different type of animal. In one version, I think it's a cow, and I think in another version, it's a dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like go back and rewatch these, see which versions I saw. It's probably been too
Yeah,
long that I won't remember it anyway.
I kind of want to go and rewatch Alien 3 at some point too and see which one that I had seen. There are also like fan cuts, and I don't know how to watch those, but or where to watch them, but I've heard about them.
Yeah, I that's kind of new to me. You think I'd be in the loop?
And then for Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, there are like two or three different versions of that one. I've seen two versions of it. There's one where Jamie survives, but if I remember right, the
Okay.
had some flaws in the end that I wasn't as crazy about. But there were some things too that made it make more sense. It was both versions had their benefits. But anyway, I'm digressing. Um, oh yeah, Shin Godzilla. So spoiler review. All right. So as we
Indeed.
know, they want to make a sequel. Um, I don't know if they're going to be basing it on the tail at the end of the film. So the one practical effect that we have for Shin Godzilla that made it into the movie of Godzilla, like the practical effect of Godzilla that made it into the Shin Godzilla film, because they'd filmed like a lot of scenes with practical effects that they ended up cutting out. Um, they cut out like all the suitmation. They cut out the animatronic. They had built a giant animatronic for the film that they ended up just
Yeah.
cutting, and they said it didn't move quite right. The movements just didn't look right. But they used a sculpture for the tail, and the sculpture is made by one of the concept artists. They had two, actually had a couple of concept artists, two main ones, um, and one would basically one did like the drawings, and then the other one did like 3D sculptures for the concepts, and the gentleman who did the sculptures, the sculpture of the tail that made it in as a prop, and that's where it's got like all the Godzilla people like emerging from the tail tip, and that was that was pretty amazing. That made up for the slightly anticlimactic ending. And
Yeah, and like I'm trying to look through my notes to see the guy's name. I got one of them's name. Takayuki Takeya is the one that sculpted the 3D models.
okay, yep.
Um, yeah, he beautiful, beautiful work.
I guess maybe we should start at the beginning of the movie. Um, so the movie, it starts off with a yacht in Tokyo Bay, and the yacht was kind of abandoned, or yeah, it was abandoned by the basically the mad scientist that was living on it, or who had rented it. Um, he left a bunch of his research notes behind, and uh, Goromaki was his name, Dr. Goromaki. They named him after a reporter character from the Showa era Godzilla movies, um, and he had been researching nuclear waste and this creature that he called Gojira after legends from his home island of Odo Island, and which is in the original Godzilla movie. That's where um, Godzilla came from Odo Island, and also in Godzilla -1. So that was kind of their nod to Odo Island. But he had found like a marine organism that was feeding on the nuclear waste in Tokyo Bay. They blamed the Americans for dumping it there, which is kind of funny because the Americans have dumped nuclear waste in a lot of places, but not in Japanese waters. Um, Funny enough, we've dumped a lot of nuclear waste off the coast of California, like pretty close to where people swim. Um, so yeah, but anyway, I found that funny when I actually researched it. Um, but
Yeah.
they so, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so he was researching that organism. He may or may not have been doing some experimenting on the organism. It's left kind of vague, and it seems like he threw himself he probably committed suicide or threw himself into the water to be eaten by the organism or something, but we don't really know. But there are a lot of people who are assuming or theorizing based on the humanoids coming out of Godzilla's tail at the end that Godzilla probably did consume him or something, and that's how he has the human DNA to make humanoids. Um, and to me, that also explained why Godzilla ends up taking like that upright, like slightly humanoid, like anthropomorphic, like form after he evolves from Kamata-kun to the next form and then to that.
Yeah. Look, that scene where you first get on the boat and it's like found footage, I thought that was like so cool and it was clever because it's like you're getting the point of view of the people discovering the scene first, and you're also the people discovering the scene first, you know. So it's like the audience is actually there through the
Mm.
use of a camera, you know, and I really enjoyed that. Like I thought that it was a really cool way to like try to pull the audience in almost immediately, you know. I
I
really thought
agree.
that was good.
I loved those little found footage bits that they had thrown in it.
Yeah. You know that was all done on iPhone?
That's right. Yeah, I think they
That's
had said that they had like recorded like some scenes with like the regular camera, and then they realized that the iPhone was just going to work even better, or like that some of the iPhone footage was better, and they ended up just using that instead.
yeah, and I'm still using an Android for this, you know?
Yeah, I've got an Android, but let's say, oh, for some reason with the Goromaki stuff, I had an easier time understanding and following those aspects or like catching them when I watched the dubbed version for the first time. Like for some reason, like stuff was making more sense to me than did like when I was watching the subtitled version. But I've also been told that the original the original subtitles, the Funimation ones, weren't very good, and that the new 4K release has all new subtitles. They're also going to have a new dub for it, and that the new subtitles are like leagues beyond the previous ones and help you understand the movie a lot better. I
What's
did
really
not
good
get to see
about
the
that
first
is
release. So.
I've pre-ordered it
Nice.
and I've paid for it. It's paid for, it's pre-ordered, it's coming in. I had the DVD when it was first like brand new at Walmart, probably like 2017 I bought it. So I probably had those crappy subs. Um, because I mean, it's really been like since we started researching that, I've kind of fully rediscovered the movie and just have a deeper appreciation for it, you know?
Mm. Big Chunk says we need to get an
Yeah,
iPhone.
I was laughing. Yeah.
Those
It's
are expensive.
expensive.
And
It's stuff that we don't have.
then let's see. So next we get God. So yeah, we had the whole boat thing with Goromaki, and then Godzilla's tail appears in Tokyo Bay, and that, and of course all the officials are like trying to figure out what the hell is this thing that emerged out of Tokyo Bay. Oh, before that, that's right. The what was it, like the subway system flooded and stuff, and
Yeah,
they're
there was
trying to,
like the
that's
blood through the ceiling.
yeah, and it looked like there was like a geyser or something. They could see that there was some sort of disturbance in Tokyo Bay, but they couldn't really tell what it was. And then the tail appeared, and they were like, because someone said, "Oh, what if it's a living organism?" And then everyone's laughing at them.
Yeah, and they're like, it won't get on land though.
And right, what? Yeah, and then when the guy says that on air in front of the news people, of course, that's when Godzilla takes to land and decides he's going to make a mess.
I don't love the way that that scene looked in some parts because, like, I don't know, the cars just it looked like they were just 3D models coming up the side. Like, it didn't look great to me.
Hmm.
But
I know for some of it they
I mean,
used
that's really
practical
kind of the only
effects
one.
too.
Yeah, but that was definitely like that. Definitely wasn't it.
That was one of the CG ones. And
Yeah,
so was that like, so after Godzilla returns to the sea, was it after that that they find that they had like the deleted scenes where they find the globs of Godzilla that have like all the eyes and everything sticking out of them?
I believe so. I think so. Like, I want to say so. Trying to put it in
That
like the
might have been
timeline though.
that might have been later. The scene that they cut from the earlier, from his first emergence, was the blood, the blood coming out of the gills and boiling the tires of vehicles.
That was pretty sick in more ways than one.
Right. Could you imagine if like the blood came out and just started like boiling like the people in the streets, and they showed that as well?
I don't think Toho has the balls. Let me just go ahead and say it.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to do
they
that
won't
for a
do
Godzilla movie.
it. No, they already pushed it a bit with Godzilla -1, I think, showing him stepping on people for the
Yeah,
first time ever.
yeah. And like, man, when I first saw it, I thought they were going to break the rule where he doesn't eat people, but he just flings the guy. I think we
Yeah,
got
me
a Wilhelm
too.
scream.
Because yeah, if you don't know this, got Toho has like these rules that they follow with Godzilla, and they give to like their directors and producers. And Toho's the company that makes Godzilla, and and like, so like some of the rules are like he can't eat people. Um, they wouldn't let him be seen stepping on anyone either, or at least stepping on them and killing them. Which is why, like in the 1997 film, you see Godzilla steps on a person, but the person survives. Turns out, they were just under the groove of the foot or something like that, and didn't get crushed. Um, but in Godzilla -1, no, Godzilla steps on people, and you see it. They show you right in the trailer for the movie too, so it's not a spoiler. Um, that movie is a little brutal. Um,
Yeah,
and
I don't know, man.
they didn't go quite that far for Shin Godzilla, but they gave us some horror elements, especially with the biological horror.
Yeah, and like you still had that fear, and they still had implications of death, but they didn't actually show it on screen. Like when he bumps into the or goes through the building, like it shows the people starting to fall back, but then it cuts to him outside.
Right,
I thought that was a good way to like keep it a little bit more PG-13, I guess.
right, and you know that family doesn't survive, but they at least don't show it
No,
happen. Like at least show you like from their perspective. They just show you from Godzilla's perspective, the tail smashing or whatever.
I got fun facts about that scene too, because that was four different shots all blended together. Like I think two of them or three of them were like practical effects, and then they had the people acting it out. And it was I don't know. The video I saw and it was beautiful. We got to get images for that for like the long live, like for sure.
And let's see, from there, Godzilla goes back into the sea after he attains an upright form, but he's still not his full form that we see him in, the fifth form that we see him in later. Or no, that's the fourth form that we see him in later. Right? Yeah, I lose count with the forms.
Yeah.
And he goes back into the bay. Government tries to figure out what they're going to do about him. At the time, he's still a small fry too, by comparison to the Godzilla we know. And yeah, trying to think. Goes into committee hell. Gets a little bit boring there for a bit. And then Godzilla reemerges, and that's when like all hell breaks loose, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that's like the best part of the movie too. Godzilla's reemergence from Tokyo Bay, or I think did he reemerge from Tokyo Bay?
I don't remember exactly. He comes back in Abe.
Comes back from Bay.
Yeah. Trying to look at the names of the forms, like that's gonna tell me something. Because you got Kamato-kun, Shinagawa-kun, Kamakura-san, because that's him as an adult. So I guess maybe
That's
he
where they
came
make
up
landfall.
Kamakura.
Yeah, and that's where they like make their appearance.
Yeah. So maybe
Yeah, a
that's
lot of
it.
these
But
are
no, that was
districts,
fourth
and
form.
a lot of these are like districts of Tokyo, if I remember right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oof.
For how many
Ju-
times I've watched it, I still can't remember where he comes up.
Julie's got a 21-hour drive ahead of her. Her and Carl. Oof. Good luck.
Oh, good luck.
Be safe.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Because like from here in Alabama to New York was 18, and we did that all in one day, and that was harsh. So that's 3 hours longer. You be careful, girl. You and Carl, y'all gotta make it safe.
Yeah, that whole like that whole stretch where from when Godzilla reappears until when he goes into remission, like it's just phenomenal. That was the whole movie right there for me. um, and
Yeah,
when he releases his nuclear blast, well, his atomic breath for the first time, like the the like what do they call it? The thermal flame, and then the like atomic beam. Like that was just epic. That like thermal flame too by itself was just incredibly devastating. Like takes out whole
yeah,
blocks, just flames everywhere. Just wow. Like it's almost like hard to tell which is more destructive. Like except the beam is just slicing through freaking everything, and he's got it coming from his tail too.
yeah. No, man. I mean, because like that is that about when they're like flying near his head and everything.
Yeah,
And like he's shooting with his mouth and then his tail, which also kind of has a mouth, you know. It,
we got some
it was really
amazing
cool.
perspectives.
Yes. Yes. And like just when you think he's, about to get bombed, he doesn't because he shoots even more out. So cool.
Oh, we got a good question. Jay has never seen a Godzilla movie and wants to know if any of them are good. Um, some of them are
Most
very
of
good,
them.
and then the rest of them are they require like I guess a certain type of taste. Maybe you have to like I feel like you have to acquire the taste first. Maybe you don't. Some people just
Yeah.
watch it and immediately enjoy it. But I feel like Jay, you should probably start with Godzilla minus one. Because that movie it's the only Godzilla movie to have won an Oscar, and it's just a phenomenal movie. than the original Godzilla from 1954 or the dub from 1956. Either of those are really good. And then after that, Shin Godzilla has really good parts, but it's got some slow parts. It's Higuchi and Ano, they kind of like struggle with pacing. Shin Ultraman has the same
Yeah.
problems. Um, but ultimately it's a good movie. It's got some things in it that are gonna like make you like wonder a little bit after, but I feel like if you want to see good Godzilla movies, it's gonna be -1 and then the original. Um, for out of the
I'd shout
classics
out
though,
84.
84 is good. It's a serious film. Biollante had good effects for its
Even
time.
better.
Biollante had beautiful special effects and amazing soundtrack, but it's a little bit sci-fi and fantasy. That one's a little bit more fantastical. The story's a little bit weird. The ending battle, though, I mean, if you're got like Godzilla fans, a lot of us we go to watch we want to watch the fight and the destruction. That's what we're there for. And that battle at
Yeah,
the end with Biollante was phenomenal. Like it was beautifully shot. The effects were just gorgeous. Um, and that was a well choreographed fight. That was a good one. Um, but I feel like Godzilla versus the Thing or Mothra versus Godzilla. I feel like that had a lot of quality to it, high production value. All the musical
yeah,
scenes with the little fairies, those were good. The original Mothra film by itself was a classic. That's a really really good movie. Um,
absolutely.
so and technically the original Mothra film isn't a Godzilla film, but it's part of the same universe. So it kind of fits. Um, but the best kaiju films, other than Godzilla, would be the Gamera trilogy from the 90s. That's Gamera Guardian of the Universe, then Gamera versus Legion, and then Gamera versus Iris. And that trilogy is just wow. It's really good. Big Chungus asks, have you seen all the different sizes of Godzillas and which is the biggest? So I've seen a lot of them, so
Earth.
it's hard to impress me with size. Oh, wait, we're talking about Godzillas, right? Okay. Um, so the biggest would be Godzilla Earth.
Yeah, Earth for sure.
Yep, Godzilla Earth from from the anime movie trilogy. Um, now the Godzilla animated movie trilogy, amazing world building, but I feel like it was boring execution. I absolutely love the
Absolutely.
setting. I love everything that they were aiming for. It just the way that they executed it was
Just
just
fell
really,
flat.
yeah, it fell flat. It was really boring. Um, and you know, it was kind of disappointing in that regard because there were so many different things that they could do with a Godzilla movie, and it's the first time that they were making an animated Godzilla film. And that's where they decided to bring it. At least as far as the action went, the action could have been so much better. Um, a lot of missed opportunities there. I feel like the pre-story that they had, like the novellas written about, that's what
Yeah,
that's what they should have made the movies on.
absolutely. That's what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like the books that they only printed in Japanese for one were a lot more interesting and had better story. So it was like the anime trilogy's best part is not even released in America.
Yeah, maybe eventually because they're starting to release some of these things. We because we have the Godzilla novelization project people, and they had translated the monster Godzilla, which was the original novelization of Godzilla, and that's a really good read. I read that a while ago before it was actually like published on paperback. They like it was just like an online project, and they had released it as like a PDF download, and that was really impressive. That was a really good read. Very not well. It was it had a lot of big differences from the original movie. Um, the next biggest Godzilla, though, would be probably the MonsterVerse Godzilla by this point, right?
Yeah, it's Godzilla Evolved. I can loop it
Yeah.
back to Shin Godzilla because Shin is actually the tallest out of any of the Toho ones. And in my notes, let me read you what I wrote. Um, and they made Godzilla the tallest yet, being 10.3 meters taller than G14. What is that
Yep.
final estimate? I don't know. I'm a terrible note taker.
But yeah, so Japan wanted to make their Godzilla bigger than the new American one. So they're like, okay, we're gonna make Shin Godzilla taller than the new 2014 American Godzilla, and then of course in what was it 2021, was that when King of the Monsters came out?
No, that was 2019.
2019, okay. But yeah, so yeah, 2019 Godzilla King of the Monsters came out, and that Godzilla I'm pretty sure was taller than Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, and then I think he was a little bit taller in Godzilla versus Kong, and then I think they made him even taller for Evolved Godzilla in New Empire. So for the most part, it's MonsterVerse, but for Toho, it's Shin Godzilla.
And then, oh yeah, Dieter's reminding us to like, share, and subscribe. Um, and then Dieter asks what our favorite Godzilla movies are. I feel like I already answered that one, but I don't know if you did.
I don't know, man. Because for me, like, it's the first Godzilla, it's Smog Monster, it's 1984, it's Biollante. For the most part, probably 1992's, Godzilla versus Mothra Battle for Earth. I think that one's definitely my favorite. Um, just because of Batra, a great extension of the idea of Mothra, and having Batra be like the perfect embodiment of nature, the protector of nature, where Mothra is the protector of humanity. I thought it was a great concept. Pretty great movie. On the cover, you see the Ferris wheel that's used in a little bit at the end. It's probably my favorite, but it's really hard to pick just one favorite Godzilla movie for different reasons.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
And Lori asks, "Is Godzilla good and bad?" Yeah, Godzilla is pretty much pretty much sums up Godzilla. Um, Depending on the movie and depending on the series, Godzilla can be, you know, a product of mankind that brings about destruction, or he can be a force of nature, or kind of both. Um, in the original Showa run, Godzilla eventually becomes a good guy. He gets kind of swayed by Mothra to help Mothra fight King Ghidorah. Well, Mothra sways Godzilla and Rodan because Mothra's like, well, if you two aren't going to fight King Ghidorah, I'm going to go and fight him. And they're like, you're going to get your butt kicked. And Mothra goes to fight him anyway, and Godzilla and Rodan go and help. Then they become good guys after that until that series hit its end at Terror of Mechagodzilla. Although
So
technically
what's bad is, oh, I thought you said is Godzilla good in bed, and then
oh
I saw the comment pop up, good and bad, and then like I don't know, man. The whole time I was just like trying to keep myself together.
but the original run, technically, even though the last movie to be released for it was Terror of Mechagodzilla or Terror of Godzilla, depending on the version. The last movie in the timeline is Destroy All Monsters, because Destroy All Monsters takes place in the future, and displaced
Yeah.
from the other movies. And in the timeline. So technically, King Ghidorah doesn't die until the end, which is also why, even though they kill King Ghidorah and destroy all monsters, several movies later, there he is with Gigan fighting Godzilla and Anguirus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a reflection of society and timelines. Also it's a reflection of the audience. They discover, you know, at a point that, kids love Godzilla. Let's make him silly and fight monsters and make him a hero. And then he became like a superhero. For the
I am going to
90s,
look up what year that was supposed to take place because I think we already passed it.
1999.
Look up what year. Oh man, yeah, we were all partying.
Yep. They thought that we would have a moon base, and like, was it flying cars or something and stuff? I don't know. It was like they thought that we would have a lot of technology that we don't have yet. Um, but I think that that's kind of how it was. I think that a lot of like projections back then were kind of shooting a little bit far. But what was I going to say? Oh, good and bad. In the 90s series, the Heisei timeline, well, the 80s and 90s, that Godzilla was an asshole. I can't say that he was good or bad. He was more like he existed. He wanted to do his thing. He wanted to eat that radiation. And, if you were going to try to fight him when he was trying to get to that radiation, then you would regret it. And anything that, was,
Yeah, you're just in the way.
yep, anything in the path to the radiation, it's just in the way. So try
Yeah,
and have to get between Godzilla and his snack. And of course,
or
because
being a snack.
yeah, and so that Godzilla, he wasn't good or bad. He existed. He was like a force of nature. He was like a wild animal almost, even though he was a giant mutated dinosaur. Um, and then the Millennial Godzillas, there were a bunch of them. Pretty much, I think all the Millennial Godzillas were kind of like, except for GMK, they were kind of like good and bad in ways, if I remember right. Um,
Yeah, because you had the whole Kiryu saga, and like Godzilla wasn't exactly a good guy.
no, he was a bad guy in that one too. But well, let's see. Godzilla 2000, wasn't he actually kind of like a good guy in that one, or
Yeah,
like
I saw
not,
that one in the re-release.
or like not completely bad? And in
Kind of
Godzilla
went
vs.
self-serving.
Megaguirus, I'm pretty sure that he was kind of a bad guy, but he wasn't as bad as Megaguirus.
Yeah, I don't remember much of that movie except for how Megaguirus is defeated at the end.
And then Godzilla Singular Point, yeah, Godzilla's a bad guy in that one.
Yeah,
Just
Singular Point is a topic of its own.
yeah, I love Singular Point, but it's its own thing. And what happened to Baby Godzilla? So let's see. There was the first Baby Godzilla, right, from the Showa era. That one was Minya or Manila, short for that. Which Manila, I think, was like supposed to mean like mini Zilla. They should have just called him Mini Zilla instead of Manila. But
Even though they weren't even the same species.
yeah, they didn't look anything alike. Like, like how does this frog
I
looking
mean,
thing
like,
become
he's
Godzilla?
literally adopted.
Yeah, he is adopted. So Godzilla adopts all of his kids, um, and they often and sometimes they refer to Godzilla instead of well, the Heisei Godzilla. Sometimes they refer to him as Big Brother rather than father of little Godzilla. But yeah, Minya's around. I mean, he was in Destroy All Monsters, so that he makes it to the end of at least where they left off at that timeline. So he makes it to 1999, and he doesn't age much between the 60s or 70s when they first discover him until then. But I guess dinosaurs
His
age a little
powers
bit slow.
actually got worse.
His powers got worse.
It's like at the end of Son of Godzilla, he's able to do like a full good beam, right? Am I
Yeah, I think
remembering
you're
that
right.
wrong?
No,
And then he
I think
couldn't
he
even do
did.
it and destroy all monsters.
Yeah, I think they also recycled footage too from like that very scene, probably.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because he did it against Ghidorah. He did the
Or maybe
smoke
I'm
rings.
thinking.
That's how they got him capacitated.
Yeah, I might also be thinking of Godzilla's Revenge, but they recycle scenes a lot for the Showa era.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Big budget constraints.
then we had a Godzilla Jr. or the was it Anoa Island Godzilla from Heisei era, and started off as baby Godzilla hatching from the egg, and then they called it Little Godzilla and Space Godzilla, and then Godzilla Jr. and Destroyer by that age, and now he's the new Godzilla in the Gemstone shorts. Um, and I love that. I love that baby Godzilla. That one's my favorite. He was so cute in Godzilla versus
A
Mechagodzilla and
lot better
Godzilla
than
versus Space
Manila.
Godzilla. Oh yeah, so much better than Minya. Um, and although Minya does come back, Minya comes back for Godzilla Final Wars, and at least they made him look like he might be the same species, but he talks.
Yeah. Well, well, I don't know if you'd really count it, but he talks in All Monsters Attack.
Yeah,
That's the
Godzilla's
one that's
Revenge.
like super clip show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that doesn't count. That was a dream sequence. That was like literally one of those
yeah, I
dream
know,
sequence things.
I know, but he still talked, and it sounded ridiculous in the American dub.
Oh my god, it
Sounded
did.
like a cartoon character.
That was a fun kids movie though. My brother loved that movie. He would watch it over and over and over again. And but hey, that movie had a killer soundtrack. That soundtrack was good. That was a fun one. And both the American and Japanese versions have different soundtracks, and they're like both had like that kind of like weird like funky sound to it. It was a lot of fun.
For sure.
And let's see, this is where we're not on here all night. Um, what else do we want to say about Shin Godzilla? Um, let's see.
I don't know how exactly good I feel about him being frozen whenever he was like super heated or whatever.
Hmm.
But like also the more research I did into it, the science actually kind of makes sense. Which I mean that's a whole like subject in itself. You know, I got the notes, but that's for the deep dive.
Oh yeah, because they didn't really
But
explain it that well in the movie.
yeah, and then like I came across a YouTube video and they like broke down the organism type. It was super cool. And I tried to get as many notes as I could, you know, not just jack their crap.
Yeah, he like flashed.
But
So what was it? They pumped him full of coagulant so that he would overheat, and then he self flash froze to prevent himself from basically melting down or something like that.
yeah,
And that's what
basically,
froze him.
basically.
And that it's only a temporary state too, and so they still need to come up with a permanent solution. See, I really wish they would have
Yeah,
emphasized that in the film too, because that would have gave the ending more impact.
right. I mean, especially because like whenever he first freezes, you know, you got that final shot of all the humanoid creatures coming out of the tail. But like when he first freezes, his tail looks normal. It's still just like that little skull ended thing, you know? But then by the end of the movie, it's progressed. And at what pace? How long was it after he got first frozen that last scene takes place? Isn't it like 6 months or something? Or a year?
Oh, I don't know, but like I'm not sure if so I wondered if like some of those things did fall off and managed to get away. Um, then at the same time, I also wonder if those appeared like when he flash froze, as like an attempt to like you know get rid of like to like spread, kind of like when you like throwing bleach on mold, how like it will go poof and throw spores all over the place.
Yeah. And I mean, like, that's kind of why I hate that they got rid of that one deleted scene where you saw the eyes on the fallen off cells or whatever you'd call them. Like, that
Right.
was super cool. They didn't need to cut that out, but at the same time, I get it.
I remember when I first watched the movie, I thought that um I thought that the ending scene, like with the humanoid Godzillas, um was a product of I thought he was like absorbing DNA as he was going along. So I thought like as he's like stepping on like things, he's kind of like absorbing them into him. Was the way that I thought it was happening. Apparently it wasn't, but that's the way I thought of it when I first watched the movie. And I didn't realize the whole like Goromaki thing. Then there's also the theory that apparently Shinji Higuchi and Hideaki Anno have that eventually life develops a humanoid type of body structure, um, and
Yeah.
that's like a thing they use and run with in like all of their creature productions.
I don't know that they're wrong because look at bears and like
Mm,
apes. They're humanoid and scary and could kill me.
bears, yeah. And Samuel says, "Talking Godzilla. I thought Godzilla using telepathy was crazy." Yeah, we've had Talking Godzilla a couple times, right? So we had
Yeah.
we had Minya talking in All Monsters Attack / Godzilla's Revenge. We had Godzilla and Anguirus talking to each other in Godzilla versus Gigan.
Yes.
um, oh man, what were they thinking? And then we have we have Psychic Godzilla with the Heisei Godzilla is supposedly psychic. He has
Yeah.
that whole psychic battle with Miki Seguza, and I think he won, kind of, or no, because he ends up she did kind of deflect him. He does end up like leaving and turning and going in the opposite direction, but she ends up like
Yeah.
fainting after.
I think they kind of like came to terms with each other and like kind of like
Mm.
mentally shook hands.
Yeah, that
I think
seems
that's
what.
what happened.
Yeah, that does seem to be more what it was like, because it seems like that's where their relationship like actually started. Her relationship with Godzilla, because like it seemed like after that he knows who she is and she knows who he is, and they like have like this like link. Like they're not like super buddy buddy, but they have a connection.
Right. It's almost like his version of the Shogun.
Vibrant likes the science part. Yeah, Godzilla was TP.
Oh yeah. Uh,
TP.
I didn't catch it the first time around, but I just got it.
And then Rider Gamer says Godzilla says that I have to do my own battle, Media from Godzilla's Revenge. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, so where do you think they're going to go with Shin Godzilla 2?
I don't know, and I kind of am afraid to try to like speculate and get too attached to an idea and be disappointed that it's not what I wanted. Like I really just I don't want to think too much about it, but I want it to feel like a natural progression, you know?
Mm.
Like I don't want it to be a forced idea in this universe. Yeah, in the vein of Ebera, they already had that ready, the idea was made, and they made Godzilla go into it. I don't want it like that. Like I want it to actually be the progression, and I want it to actually mean something. I don't want it to tarnish the legacy of Shin, you know? Like, I don't have any particular hopes on where it goes. I just have particular hopes that it feels right, you know?
So now, I know originally, so there are a couple of places that they could go with Shin Godzilla, and they're probably going to go neither of the ones that they've discussed prior. Um, but I know that originally they intended for Shin Godzilla not to end where it did, but to also like continue on past then. So you'd have the humanoid Godzillas falling off. You would have Godzilla. You'd have another Godzilla splitting out of or breaking out of the frozen Godzilla, and Godzilla basically splitting into two. And I think they're considering having him split into even more Godzillas and having like all these Godzillas attacking the planet. Eventually, they're going to have one of the Godzillas, at least, was going to fly. Um,
I remember
and
seeing that concept art.
yeah, and they were going to have the flying Godzilla. He was basically his tail would like basically become like a jet, and eventually Godzilla was going to absorb the planet, become the planet, spread out from there, and become eventually God of the universe. And they end up Toho didn't give them the okay for that. They ended up nixing that. So we got what we got, and then when they got offered the chance to make a sequel initially, um, Toho shot them down because the sequel that they wanted to make was like well, the sequel that Higuchi and Anno wanted to make. They wanted to do a completely tone shift. They wanted to basically go from Megan to Megan 2.0. So they wanted to take this like
Yeah,
kind of like horror sci-fi movie with Godzilla, and then turn it into a cheesy Godzilla versus another monster fighting movie, like for basically aimed at for kids. And
that's only
Toho was
worked once. Alien to Aliens is the only instance that works from going horror to action. Nobody
yeah,
else can manage it. It's a known rule.
and yeah, Toho was not having it. They're like, no, we're not doing that. And you guys have to go back to the drawing board. Give us some other ideas and come back to us. But then they made Shin Ultraman, Shin Kamen Rider. I haven't finished watching Shin Kamen Rider yet. I still need to go and finish it. But what I've seen of it is friggin' phenomenal. I've only seen like the first episode of the original Kamen Rider, and so like this is all fresh for me too. So it's really cool. Um, but I have seen, I think, half a season of one of the Common Riders from I think a couple of years ago. I think it had like two people and they merged to become like one Common Rider or something like that. I can't remember, but it was surprisingly entertaining. Um, but the Shin
I
Kamen
only
Rider
know
is
the
really
Pokemon.
good. Would you say?
I said I only know the Pokemon that's based off of Common Rider that came out in Scarlet and Violet. Low Kicks. It's like a
Okay.
grasshopper Common Rider looking thing. That's all I know. That's all I know. I really don't
And,
know Common Rider.
oh, Reel's going to bed. Good night, Reel. Good night, Lori. Have a good night. Thank you
Good
for joining
night.
us.
Rest well. Yeah.
And some of you all might know Common Rider as Masked Rider. It's got a US version like Power Rangers, well, like Super Sentai did with Power Rangers. Um, but I think Masked Rider only ran for like one season. And I don't think I was a fan of it as a kid. I don't remember the show really. I think I went to go and try to watch Masked Rider actually when I started trying to rewatch Power Rangers, and I actually got pretty far into Power Rangers. Eventually, I'll finish it. Um, I'm on, I think, season like 13 or 15. I don't even know. I'm on Dino Thunder, I think it's called. But
What's that, like 2004, 2005?
I can't remember. It's the one where Tommy comes back and he's the Black Ranger now, and he's like the leader of the team. Oh, Vibrant's oldest daughter loves Kamen Rider. Nice.
Sweet. So
Kamen Rider is
Vibrant
kind of like,
has more knowledge than either of us.
yeah, probably. Kamen Rider is kind of like like a little obscure. It's one of the more obscure tokusatsu, I feel like. I feel like everyone knows like Power Rangers and the Japanese version, Super Sentai. Everyone knows Ultraman. Um, but like fewer people seem to know Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I mean, like I'd heard of it, but I just never got into it. I was always kind of a Godzilla purist in that way. Like I didn't want to get into Ultraman because I thought Godzilla did it so well. And then the older I got, the more respect I got for the craft, and like I really need to get into Ultraman.
Oh yeah, I've watched a couple of Ultraman series. Um, my favorite out of the ones that I've finished, probably I liked the Ultraman Orb prequel. It was kind of like a complete fantasy series, and it was one of the shorter ones. Ultraman Orb Origins. I can't remember what the rest of it was called, but it's like it's it's more like sci-fi fantasy. It was a lot of fun, um, and that one took place on like other planets. Um, there was I watched the first season or first series of Ultraman. That's classic, but it's a little bit dry. Um, Ultraman Ginga, I really enjoyed Ginga, and the one that came out right after it, Ultraman Geed. Those were both really good. I think I enjoyed Ginga more, if I remember right. Um, and I watched them both like at the same time, like alternating between the two as well. So I confused them a little bit. Um, and and I've seen all of Ultraman, the Great. I can't remember if I finished Ultraman Powered. That one was a little bit tougher to watch, even though that was one of the American ones. So there are at least two American Ultraman series, um, Ultraman the Great and Ultraman Powered, and or something or Ultraman Power, something like that. Um, and Ultraman the Great was really good. I really enjoyed that. Very 90s nostalgia. I wish I had seen it as a kid. um, I think I was able to see like one episode as a kid, and I had a couple of the toys, but whatever it played on, I didn't really get to watch it. Um, but I started watching Ultraman Leo, and like a couple of years ago, well, not a couple of years ago, but like last summer, I can't remember. But anyway, I need to finish that one because that one actually I think has been the most enjoyable out of them that I've seen so far. It just feels like almost like a little bit darker Showa era Godzilla type of movie, but like as a TV show.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, that one had really good. That one was really high quality for me. It also had like these like Naruto elements. Um, Ultraman Leo is being taught by Ultra Seven, being trained by Ultra Seven, and Ultra Seven can't like henshin anymore. He injured himself and he can't henshin, and he's training Ultraman Leo, and it's just really good. It was surprisingly good. And
I
what
need to
was
check them
this?
out.
Oh, um, I can't like highlight it and read it from the same device. Um, Ryder Gamer says, actually fine with Godzilla being a hero, but hold on, I'm gonna have to highlight something else for now. But the suit change to be more cartoonish is not really my cup of tea. I agree. Especially the suit from Son of Godzilla. He legit looks like a frog. Yeah, I agree. Some of
Oh
those suits
yeah,
were
for sure,
awful.
for sure.
Yeah, they definitely got sillier for those. The biggest shift, I mean, the biggest change too for me was from the standalone film version of Rodan to the Godzilla movie version of Rodan. It goes from looking like actually kind of like a little bit scary and intimidating and fierce to just being completely cartoonish, looking like a chicken, like a rubber chicken.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and we did get the MonsterVerse Godzilla seems to be a bit of a hero. He's definitely more heroic than the Heisei Godzilla.
I think he started out as a hero and then he got cocky. He
And
was
then he got
cocky in New
cocky.
Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All that
I
power got
believe
to his head.
the Godzilla Kong writers have been like doing him dirty because they started him off on like as like being like a hero, and then until Godzilla versus Kong, and then it was like, well, we need to make him fight Kong, so we're going to just turn him into a complete bully.
Yeah. And so he stayed.
Yep, I preferred the more animalistic asshole version of Godzilla from Godzilla from the Heisei timeline. Even what's this?
Yeah, for sure. I liked when he was just kind of not necessarily self-serving, but he was kind of the center of his world. Everything was kind of more for him. He don't
Yep,
care about humanity. He don't care about the bad guys until they're his problem, you
right,
know?
exactly.
And like I always like those the best.
Like, what was it? He goes and he fights Space Godzilla because Space Godzilla abducts baby or
Yeah,
something like that. Oh no! Oh yeah, because he was trying to drain the energy from little Godzilla, and so Godzilla's like, "Oh no,
yeah.
I got to protect my little guy here." Mothra and Batra picked the well. No, he picked the fights with Mothra and Batra. I think he wanted to eat that egg though. I think he
Sure,
always
for
wants to eat
sure.
that egg.
Yeah. I don't know, but he was also called to Batra, like,
Hmm.
that egg and larva. So I don't know, maybe there was some kind of animalistic curiosity, or he recognized it as
Yeah,
well. I
he
don't think
went.
Godzilla was around at that time when Batra was first around.
Did they have to teleport Godzilla to King Ghidorah to get him to fight him?
In the '90s one,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. I just
Oh,
remember not liking the time travel aspect because I'm a little stickler for time
yeah,
travel. It's got to make perfect sense, or else I hate it. And so that kind of throws me off of that movie. Even though we do get Mecha Ghidorah, which is totally hype.
made for good toys.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just like the different forms for Shin Godzilla. That's why there were so many forms. Even more toys.
And Samuel grew up on Power Rangers Dino Thunder.
Righteous.
Kamen Rider Kyuga is also pretty good, especially if you like horror and motorcycle action. Is is that the one that I
I like
watched?
both of those.
That's not the one where it's like two people and they become one Kamen Rider, is it? Like one of them can do it like individually, but he doesn't have as much power unless it's two of them combining or something like that. I can't remember. It was weird, but it was good. SPD. I haven't seen SPD yet. I heard that's a really good one though. So far out of the Power Rangers series, I think my favorite's probably In Space, and then it's Power Rangers Zeo. Then after that, it's probably Time Force, and then after that, um, Lightspeed Rescue. Ah, okay, so it's Kamen Rider W that I'm thinking of. All right. Oh, yep, and Vibrant Numerals confirms as well. That's funny.
Yep. It's nice to have like someone that knows.
Shin Godzilla sequel. I think we pretty much covered it. We don't really know where they're going to go with it. I don't think they're going to go either the directions they had gone before, or were thinking of going before. I think that they do want to have it as a versus film, and I think that the Godzilla minus one sequel is probably also going to be a versus film, or at least have another monster in it. Um, I feel like for
I do
Shin
have a
Godzilla,
speculation.
if, if, yeah, what's the
So
speculation?
So I mean, you have the concept art of the Shin Godzilla coming out the back. So ever since I think the 70s or the 80s, they've been wanting to have a Godzilla versus Godzilla movie. So they could do Shin Godzilla versus Shin Godzilla 2.0, Electric Boogaloo 0.0.
Yeah, it could be two different versions of Godzilla fighting. I think they were originally thinking of maybe doing something along those lines, like having Godzilla's fight. Um, I feel like they could have him, if they wanted to bring back like a classic, they could probably have him fight Hedorah, and that would work really well. That's the
Yeah,
swamp
especially in the
monster.
-1 universe.
I feel like
Yes.
that would be a perfect fit. I could also see them
For
doing
either
a
one, really. Yeah.
Biollante. Could see that maybe working. All the
Yeah.
like all the biological horror ones come to mind. So like Biollante, Hedorah, um, maybe Orga. They'd have to give him a non-alien origin, but I could see them doing that. Um,
Easy enough.
I don't
Yeah.
really see I don't really see them doing King Ghidorah. They could, but they already did. I think Shin didn't they do a Shin King Ghidorah in a ride or something already?
I think that it was just some some not fan art, but I think it was the same artist of
Oh,
some
okay.
sort, and it was like the 5-year anniversary or something like that. I know that it's not like official artwork, and it
Hmm.
was just for some celebration.
Oh, good night, Shadow Skull. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, good night.
This kind of turned into a late night stream.
Show has. We're over here hoping for a new Godzilla versus Hedorah or new Godzilla versus Biollante, but what we're probably gonna get is another Godzilla versus Ebera.
Oh my God. No, they wouldn't do that to
I
us.
mean, that's it.
No, they'll give us Godzilla versus Gezora or something, one of the more obscure Toho monsters.
Yeah. Bring back Varen.
Varan, yeah. Uh, maybe that, and I keep telling people, they're thinking it's going to be Space Godzilla and Godzilla Kong Supernova. It could end up being Mogera.
It could. It
That
could.
would just be funny. That'd be a troll on everyone. But no, it seems like for Godzilla
Or
for
the
Godzilla and
space
Kong,
amoeba.
yeah, the space amoeba. Um, but for Godzilla and Kong Supernova, it seems like originally they had planned on the villain being Space Godzilla. They had wanted the villain to be Space Godzilla, but the story they wrote for Space Godzilla, Toho did not approve of. They didn't approve of the origins that they wanted to have for Space Godzilla because this whole supernova thing, it has like I think the monster is gonna already come from Hollow Earth. I think the concept is that the monster came to Earth in the form of like that giant crystal that is glowing there in Hollow Earth, and that it's going to become like Space Godzilla is going to hatch out of it, and that was how they wanted to do it. And Toho was like, no, 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 we don't like that origin for Space Godzilla. He has to come from space in the same film or
It's in the
something.
name.
There's something about it that they didn't like for the mechanics and origin, and so they said no, you can't use Space Godzilla in that way. And so they're making a creature that is similar to Space Godzilla, their own kind of like knockoff, from what I've heard.
Makes sense. Legendary's been doing that.
Yeah, and like I feel like a lot of people are going to be upset and disappointed, and I don't know. I'm kind of sick of these knockoffs because they already kind of gave us like a Anguirus slash Space Godzilla knockoff with but with ice powers in the form of Shimo. And like Shimo's an awesome character by itself, but like you can see the elements of other kaiju in it too. Like it's definitely
What's
got some
bad is
Anguirus inspiration. You didn't?
I didn't see that Anguirus connection until I
Oh
saw
yeah.
a picture of that on Reddit like a week ago. I never paid attention. I was just like, Oh, big cute doggy lizard.
Yeah, and they're yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it'd be disappointing if it's like another like Space Godzilla like uh, inspired character. But hey, whatever. It is what it is. It's MonsterVerse. I already have a lot of problems with MonsterVerse. I enjoy MonsterVerse
Yeah,
and I'm grateful for it, but I've got a lot of problems with it as well.
yeah, yeah,
But I am definitely still enjoying it. Um, I feel like the most recent one was made with kids in mind, and I feel like it really succeeded there. Kids online seem to love it. TikTok was obsessed with the movie, um, and so it did what it aimed to do. I'm just hoping that I enjoy the next one a little bit more than I enjoyed the previous one. We'll see. I
yeah.
hope that
Same.
I hope if we don't get enough, if we don't get like the main villain as Space Godzilla, I hope they like throw in like a new Toho character in there somewhere. Like I don't know, give us like Baragon or something. Just throw something in there. Give us some kind of bone. Um,
I have an
or actually
idea.
put a real Anguirus in there.
That's a good one.
He
So
doesn't.
I want to say King of the Monsters. They talk about having another egg in China, right?
Mhm,
Well, we got new Mothra from the Hollow Earth. So
right.
what's up with
Oh,
that egg in
Batra.
China? Hashtag Bashra.
That'd be
Always
awesome.
trying to get it in the Monsterverse. That would be so cool. They could
They
do
prob
it.
they could do it. They could put it as like a different species of Mothra or something, or they could be like, it's a male Mothra. The male Mothras are the Batras.
Mothra
They're awesome.
Leo. Yeah.
No Mothra Leo in MonsterVerse. Oh man, I would love to see a Mothra Leo in MonsterVerse too, though. But it'd be too OP. It'd completely break
Yeah.
MonsterVerse.
Yeah. Probably. Especially if it got the stinger.
Well,
Then it would just be unstoppable.
yeah, yeah. Mothra Leo is just way too OP. It was like, yeah. Oh yeah, and
I
Goodnight
think that's
Shadow
all I
still
got
has
for
it.
shit.
Same here. Oh
Yeah, did we say goodnight?
yeah, we did.
I did.
Um, all
Okay.
right, and so the Primevals. Now our spoiler review. So if you don't want spoilers for the movie The Primevals, you should please lower your volume now. Um, we are done with the Shin Godzilla spoilers. Um, actually, I should probably type that in the chat. I don't know. Eventually, we'll have banners.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a message.
I pulled up my notes.
Someone messaged me and said cool, and then they sent me memes. Okay, so that's unrelated to something. It was two Doc Kaiju, and during the live stream, so I was like, oh, is someone from my Facebook watching? But no.
Cool.
All right, let me pull up the IMDb page for the Primeval so I can remember people's names. Also, I can look at people's names because I don't remember them. I have a, I tend to like never remember the names of characters in movies. And then if you have
Yeah,
two,
and all I did was write down the actor.
and then if you have like two blonde women in the same movie, I'm gonna get them mixed up.
Yeah, same.
I don't know why. Um, I think I noticed the light hair first, and it's like they always like tend to pair like blonde hair with blue eyes too for the most part, and so it's just like a similar look. And there was a movie once that I watched. It was about an evil cat or a monster cat on a boat, and it had like two actresses that like were like pretty much identical, and that was like especially confusing. But
Evil cats on a boat.
That that was an okay movie. I can't even remember. I can't remember what it was called though. But movies with evil cats, yeah, some of those are pretty good. Some of them are also terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, Pet Cemetery is somewhere on the it's toward the good side. The OG.
There was one that was it was like a compilation of short films that had like cats getting revenge. They weren't necessarily evil, but they were like getting revenge on people, and it was pretty fun. Had witches and stuff in it.
Was it the Drew Barrymore thing? Cat's Eye?
No, that's Cat's Eye. That's a really good one. No, that cat was a good guy.
Oh. Yeah, it's been a while for that one too. I need to go back and watch that one. That one's a Stephen King.
Mm. So the Primevals. All right. So for the Primevals, like, all right. So what I really loved about the movie was I loved the scenery. I loved the sets. I loved the effects work, the stop motion, and the suitmation. For the suitmation, I feel like the so they use suitmation for these like ape people, and I thought the masks looked really good. But for the bodies, I feel like if it had been a bit more form fitting, it would have looked more realistic. But the costumes just kind of like hung a little bit too loose to look quite right.
Yeah.
You could tell that they were wearing like a monkey suit with a really good mask. Like the mask had like really good like motions or whatever to it. Like they did a really excellent job with those masks, but the bodies were where it really failed for me.
So, like, real quick, are you talking about whenever they first enter up there and they see the pre-humans in modern time?
Yeah,
Dude, I know, because like they had one person and it looked like the hand just wasn't even connected. It was
mm-hmm.
a different color. It just, it hit me the
Because they were
wrong way.
like,
My note literally says, "These pre-humans look bunk."
yeah, they were also like somewhat reptilian because they were still being experimented upon.
Yeah,
And so what happens basically in this movie are these people, they go on an expedition to Nepal to try to find the Yeti, which is um, it's like a an original King Kong sized monster, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe more like Mighty Joe Young, um, and but turns out these are like genetically engineered creatures, and so which is one of the things they want to go and research because they notice it's got like evidence of genetic tampering and stuff in the corpse that they were able to bring back. So they send out a team to go and investigate and try to bring back a live one, and they end up falling into a cavern system, and then it emerges into basically the land of the lost. and
yeah.
um, and it starts getting more interesting there, but when it doesn't really get interesting until no, I guess that's when it starts getting interesting because then you see they've got like these like weird like towers in there that are like kind of like mechanical and have like these dome things and stuff, and then it becomes like a little bit intriguing of like, okay, what's going on here? And then you got they encounter a village. Well, they see a village that's got like these 8 people, and then they eventually encounter well, their first night there, the village basically gets raided, um, and they see from a distance like basically like a war party or something leaving the village, and then next day they go and they discover there's no more people in that village, or ape people, lizard ape people, and then they eventually
Yeah.
find, oh, they've been abducted by lizard people, and um and the lizard people are descendants of aliens that landed on Earth and created the first humans, but then they also genetically engineered themselves to be warm-blooded or fusing themselves with I mean, with Earth creatures, so they could live on Earth. But in the process, they regressed and became more primitive.
Yeah, basically. Uh, I don't know. My notes. I'm looking back at them, and they're kind of funny. And like some of the problems I had with the movie were toward the end with that ancient civilization. Because for one, he goes and shoots the laser, right?
Mm,
And he has to push his body against it to get it to turn. But then he hops behind the seat and starts controlling it with the levers, makes it raise up. And it's like, dude, why didn't you just do that in the first place? Did we just want to show you're a macho man?
pretty much. Like, the, so like they were like talking about like how the aliens had like regressed and became like more primitive, but the humans were just as bad or worse. Like, so basically
Right.
they wanted to wipe out the aliens for the aliens basically become developing like human character traits and doing things that humans basically do. And they
Yeah.
ended up accidentally wiping out what they do. They wipe didn't they like accidentally wipe out like the whole valley or whatever by like by breaking the dam?
Dude, I wrote that in my notes. Like, which by the way, that we're talking about two different movies that have practical effects opening up a dam. I think that's good planning on our part. But I literally have it written in the notes that you know, they discovered an ancient civilization just to flood it.
Right.
Like, and they're talking about how they did, they're gonna tell the wider world about it, and they're gonna have more expeditions. But it's like, what's there gonna be to go and see on a safari if it's all washed away or underwater? You're gonna need some scuba gear. Plus, it's probably cold up there. Like,
And oh yeah,
come
so
on.
it's gonna freeze over probably because oh yeah, because they were getting hydroelectric power by melting the ice and using the water that it produces to basically run the hydroelectric dam and using that power to melt more ice. And I don't know, I feel like there's some flaws in the logic there, but definitely interesting. But yeah, they talk about how in like one of the early scenes, like when they first like reveal when they recruit the first guy, the guy that's obsessed with Yetis, and he and they say, "Oh, we don't actually have the rights to have this Yeti corpse. The country Nepal says that we have stolen it, and we're going to send an expedition of white people there to go to go and capture a live one." What the hell? Who thinks this is a good idea? Like,
Right.
what was David Allen like trying to show us like that? Because he was the main writer as far as I can tell from what it says here. There's another writer, but like this was like his he, there was another writer, yeah, Randall William Cook. But I don't know if they were trying to make the point that we are just as bad as these aliens, but I think that's the point that I got, and I I
Yeah.
don't know if they were trying to make that point.
Um, Another thing, I got to put this out there. The first person's name that I looked up in this movie, or like the first actor, was Walker Brandt. And that is the woman that they meet once they go to Nepal. Because from her very first line, I was like, ugh, it just, every time she spoke, I thought she was in another movie. And then they just spliced it in. It did not
They
sound
might have.
right. It was not good. And then I look up her like filmography, and she's been in other stuff. And then so has the other guy, like the main guy, Richard Joseph Paul. What's the character's name? You got that still pulled up?
Oh, yeah, he played Matt Connor.
Yeah, he kept acting like he was in some 80s like action movie. That's the way he delivered his dialogue. Like he seemed a little bit like the stakes are higher than they actually are kind of thing. And then you got Walker Brandt that's just like, I've heard about you. You seem so fascinating. Ah, and it just one's a robot and the other one's in the wrong movie, I guess.
I I I know, like, for these movies too, like, they don't have a whole lot of time with the filming, so I don't know how much time they had to actually familiarize themselves with the script. Because I've seen in productions that like they don't have enough time, um, and that they rush things or with script changes and stuff. Like if it's like something that like they're always changing, they keep changing the script on them. That I've seen good actors and things just do terrible. And like it's like, wait, but I've seen you in other things before and you did a good job in those. Why are you so awful in what I'm watching right now? And I'm hoping
Yeah,
that maybe that's what I'm seeing with some of these actors here. Because the acting was really, it was probably one of the weakest parts of this film. I feel like
for
for a
sure.
movie that was conceived of in the 60s, that the writing was not very good. Like they had plenty of time to work on that. If they did, they conceived of it in like 1967 and they filmed it in like 1997 or whenever it was filmed. Um,
I think it was
and
94.
94. So yeah, they had plenty of time to develop that. Um, yeah, they could have done better, I think. But the effects I loved, especially for
For
the
sure.
lizard people. The lizard people, I thought they
Yeah.
looked fantastic. I loved the way that the
Especially in that
light,
Coliseum.
yes, but also in the cave system when they first are like introducing them, the way that the light hits their eyes, um, and like it has like that back glow to it that's like really like eerie and
Yes.
creepy. And some animals, like some animals like tigers and stuff, and like wolves and dogs, like they have like a back glow when light hits their eyes and like low light conditions, and just kind of reminded me of that and was freaky. And I loved how like I can see like why this movie would take a long time to produce with stop motion too, especially considering that Coliseum scene. There are so many of those freaking lizard men, and there are so many different lizard men, and they like varied them by like like different skin tones, different eye colors and stuff, different outfits. One of the guys was
It
the
was
guy that
beautiful.
it was absolutely gorgeous. Like when it got to that scene, I was like, oh wow, all my other criticisms of the movie have just disappeared. And then they resumed shortly after that scene ended. But
Yeah.
there was one of those lizard men, the one that was like on like was it the he had like the gun thing that like controlled the living Yeti, and because so they get to the
Yes.
Coliseum, they've got like this Coliseum where they're having like the Yeti basically kill the villagers, the ape people that
It's very episode
abducted.
6, like Star Wars episode 6.
Yeah,
Gotta say that.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it very, very much was. Oh, you could tell that they like taken things from all kinds of stuff. Um, they even made a Star Trek reference, and
Dude, I wrote that down and it was so out of left field.
yeah,
But anyway, continue. We're
yeah.
still at the
Yeah,
gun
because
with
when they
the
see
Yeti.
that when they find the UFO, the Nepalese guy says Star Trek.
He never says like Star Trek. He just says Star Trek.
Yep.
Oh God.
Oh man. But yeah, the lizard man that was running that gun, he had like a dom like a dom harness on that like I see the gay guys wearing like their pictures on friggin' Grinder when they're like into S&M and trying to be like, I'm a top. Here's my top strap to show that I'm a top. But
Yeah.
yeah, one of the lizard men was wearing something like that. I thought that was funny. Um, and then one of my favorite parts, and probably shouldn't be one of my favorite parts, was when Dr. Claire Collier gets shot with the crossbow bolt because they're like, "Come on, we gotta go before the lizard men get us," and the Eddie's holding them back, and she she has to stay anyway, and because she's like absorbed with staring at the Yeti, and she's mesmerized, and they're like trying to get her to go. I'm like, and I'm thinking, this lady deserves to get shot by a crossbow bolt right here. And sure enough, she
Right.
does. I'm like, oh my god, yep, she had it coming. They're trying to get her to go. She's the one lingering behind, wants to stare at the friggin' Yeti.
Yeah. Dude, like every time she looked at something, she was just enamored. Like when she first runs into the Richard Joseph Paul guy, she's like, and like the lighting, like spotlights on her face, like she's just fallen in love. And then the scene after that, when they're talking after the showing of the Yeti, which I have whole opinions about that scene. Like, they're looking into each other's eyes super deeply and having this like slightly sensual conversation. And like she's just throwing it on thick on him. And then they didn't go anywhere with it. I thought they might.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like they could have done more with the Yeti too. Like, uh, I I feel like there was a missed opportunity there. Like, I know that the film that we got is not the complete film that was imagined, and that they had aimed for. Um, they they weren't able to finish all of the stop motion work, and so we got an abbreviated version of the film. I know Charles Band had intended or intends to finish the special effects for the film, but supposedly it was going to take a while and more funding, and he was working on getting that done. And that might come out as a special edition version at some point. But I don't think that we're going to get an extension of the Yeti stories. So I feel like
Probably not.
yeah.
So that first scene when they first unveil the Yeti, not the first scene, but like, the next scene, when they're unveiling the Yeti and when they first show the Yeti's face, it looks like that Yeti got frozen in time smelling the nastiest fart. Like he is just like, "Ugh."
And when he
Like
smashed
that's one of my notes.
when he smashed the dude in the
Yeah.
first scene, that didn't look believable at all. That was just like that just didn't look right. But that was the only point though that I didn't like the special effects, because I feel like the special effects were the best part of the film. That and the sets. The sets were beautiful. They could have
Dude,
done
yeah,
better with.
like those tree houses.
I feel like they could have done a little bit better with the tree houses by giving us more of them, because it didn't
Well,
seem
yeah,
like a believable village. Like they were calling it a village, and there were three buildings, but they were large buildings. Um,
they look cool.
they looked cool though. I just wish they had given us more of them. Um,
Yeah.
but trying to think what
Did
else I
you
want to say.
notice? I'm sorry. I keep
No,
cutting you off.
no, no, you go.
I did you notice that like the picture they took of the Yeti is taking place in the 90s and it's a black and white photo?
Oh, I didn't even
Like
notice that.
and the edges were darkened. Like I mean it looks like it was taken on an old camera. Like that's something I noticed.
That's funny. And they're definitely in the '90s too, from their wardrobe, or their wardrobe was in the '90s, even if
Yeah.
they weren't.
And
Because
so it's after that that they go looking for the safari guy, right? And they get mugged. And it's like one guy in a turban, right? I swear to God, it was a white dude in brown face. Like
oh,
he
might have
looked
been actually.
white.
It might have been
Like the
because of the
dude that's
era it was
got
filmed.
him from the neck. Ah, yeah, no, that was cultural appropriation to a T.
Well, I see part of the movie. Like, I wasn't sure if they were trying to excuse cultural appropriation, like for the like in the movie itself, because like the people that were going on this journey, they were involved in cultural appropriation. That was like literally what they were going to do. they they were
Yeah,
going to appropriate, you know, a rare creature from Nepal that was not their country and everything. It just I'm going to pretend that they were trying to make that point, and that it was actually an intelligent piece of art, and that was the point from the get go. Maybe it was. Maybe it was meant to be subtle.
So Nepal is in the Himalayas, South Asia, right?
Mhm.
And they got a Latina to play the native girl.
I don't think she was supposed to be a native. I think she was just living there.
Okay,
But,
okay.
but yeah,
That had me confused. I was like, this doesn't seem right.
we only had one person who was from there, and his thing was he really wanted to kill the Yeti, and then he
Yeah.
didn't. And for
I
some
thought that he was
reason,
a better actor than her.
oh yeah, he was the best actor in the whole freaking movie, and
Yeah.
and also for some reason, um, Dr. Claire Collier, by the end of the movie, she had some sort of weird emotional attachment to him, and they'd literally known each other for like 2 days and hardly
Right.
talked. Oh man,
And he's the one with the smallest filmography.
that doesn't surprise me. And he also had the toughest part too out of them because he had to like pretend to be like like speak with like a thick accent and all that because I'm pretty sure that he
Yeah.
didn't actually have one. Have I seen any of these that he's been in? No, I haven't seen
Yeah,
anything
it's
else.
what, like 6 films?
He's got 11 altogether,
Mm,
but
mm, okay.
yeah, he hasn't acted since the 90s. Um, and
He
I
did
believe
like
he's
what,
still
one
alive.
more after this?
Yeah, he did like one more after this. Um,
Poor
oh, he
guy.
did a couple.
This
No, he did
probably
a couple.
burnt him out.
He did two after this. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, one was a video. It doesn't say it was a. Oh, he was a performer for a '60s medley. Okay. Yeah, I don't
That's
know. I
cool.
have no idea
Bow tie
what he's
tie.
doing now. Oh, he does photography now. All right. So let's start wrapping this up because my thing's dying, and also I need to take care of the puppers. But
Yeah, it's been 3 hours and some.
so Juliet Mills, who plays the older lady doctor, she's the most notable out of the actors, it seems. She's been in quite a number of things. She was
Most
recently
of them
in
kind of in this vein.
3 episodes of the TV show Big Mouth.
Never seen it.
Let's see, her name is Juliet Mills. And she was in 6 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. Um, trying to see like things that like I might recognize. Yeah, she was in a lot of things. She was in like 100 different things, pretty much literally. TV shows.
Yeah,
Some of the TV shows she was. Oh wow, she was in 1,000 episodes of Passions. Literally 1,000 episodes. I
that's
wonder if she like.
crazy.
I wonder if she was like hanging on like for like that 1,000th episode. Like it's where I'm at 999. I need to do just one more, just one more.
One
She was in Waxwork 2, Lost in Time. I don't think I've seen that one. She was in an episode of Monsters. That's a show I need to watch more of. I think I've seen the first like few episodes of that.
Yeah, that one was on Chiller for a while.
Oh wow, she's been in a lot. I'm still scrolling through. She's been acting for a long time. And she started in her first film was In Which We Serve. It's like a military film. Matt Connor was played by Richard Joseph Paul. I've definitely seen him in Full Moon stuff before, or at least something horror stuff. Oh, okay, yep, he was in Oblivion. Um, he was in some episodes of Law and Order SVU, Law and Order, and Law and Order Criminal Intent. playing
You talking
different
about
characters in each. The main
I
dude.
was gonna say, yeah, he was in three different shows in the same universe playing three different characters.
Yeah,
I thought that was so
that's it.
funny. Like if you look at the time span on IMDb, like some of them overlap because he plays the character multiple times as well.
There's an Oblivion 2? I did not know that. I guess the movie store it must not have been successful enough for the movie stores I went to get it, or the movie rental places. He was in Revenge of the Nerds 2.
Sweet.
I could have sworn that he was in I had seen him in other stuff. I guess not. Huh. Thought I'd seen him in something else by like Full Moon other than this. All right. Then there was Leon Russom, who played Rondo Montana, the safari hunter. Oh, he was in A Quiet Place. He was the man in the woods. And see if he's in anything else I know, or at least I've seen.
I think
He
I
was in
saw like
30 episodes of
one
Prison
or
Break.
two things. Oh, he was in
He's
that Star Trek movie 4.
okay. He's been in a lot of TV shows. 2 episodes of The
Yeah.
X-Files. Oh, yeah, a lot of character acting, just like that episode here or there. He was in the Double Dragon movie in the 90s. Project Tin Man. I'm not familiar with that. That looks interesting. Tales from the Dark Side, the show.
Oh,
And then Walker Brandt, who played Kathleen. She she was the actress that seemed like she wasn't even really on screen with the same with everyone else. And was she
yeah.
though? Yeah, she was there on screen with everyone though.
She
But they might
was.
have filmed some scenes without like the actors actually being there and like separately. Um, depending on when they could get certain people for certain scenes. I don't know if they were all there at the same time together.
She's still stiff as a board.
She's still acting. She was
Yeah.
recently in a TV series called Rich Girl Goes Undercover. Let's see if she was in. Let's see the 2000 version of Beverly Hills 90210. She was in Dante's Peak, okay, as Marianne. I don't know if that's a main character. I can't remember. And she was in
Me
one
either, but
episode of
that's
Star
cool.
Trek: The Next Generation. And yeah, she was not one of the main actors in that movie though, because she is not this. Uh, okay. No, she was one of the main actresses, I guess. I don't remember anyone being terrible in that movie, so
Maybe she got good, or maybe this movie was a fluke.
or maybe she had
But
more.
she,
She might have just had more time to actually like familiarize herself with her lines, or to actually or more takes.
yeah.
All right. Let's see. What's everyone else saying before we close things down? Same, we've got flashbacks of Kong, the animated series. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff about it that reminded me of like they were trying to do like their own version of Skull Island.
Dude, I hadn't even thought
Yeah.
about that. Wow.
movie
I
rental
want to
stores.
watch the Atlantis movie.
I miss movie rental stores too. I remember they closed down
Yeah.
Blockbuster Video near my house. Um, well, I wasn't technically near my house, but it was near my it was near my work, and we had me and my family. We had a membership there that was like we can go and we can have two or three movies out at a time. So we'd go there, we'd get movies, bring them home, watch them, go and drop them back off after we're done watching them because me and my mom both worked right on right by a Blockbuster, and then yeah, they went out of business. That was sad. Um, I used to love going in there, and then the place where I was working at the time, they ended up buying or renting that that storefront and expanded the office into that building, and it made me a little sad to go in there and look at all these like telemarketer desks basically in what used to be like one of my favorite places. And it's like, no, this place is defiled. It's become a place of supreme boredom.
Yeah. I mean, look, my dad worked at Blockbuster, and so movies
But
to the front or whatever, like super young age. That's literally my childhood.
Amy says, great show. Thank you. And didn't they charge you if you didn't rewind? Yeah, some places did. Some places would charge you a fee if you didn't rewind the VHS. And is that Samuel? Yep, Samuel says Atlantis was good. I've seen. Did I have I watched Atlantis all the way through? I think I did.
Okay, so the Atlantis movie is good. And when I said the Atlantis movie, I mean like the Kong animated series Atlantis movie that like ends the TV show. That's what I meant. But
Oh, okay.
Atlantis is better than that. The Disney Atlantis is far superior.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that. My ex was into that movie.
It was cool.
Treasure Planet, Dinosaur, Brother Bear, early 2000s had some good movies. Yeah. Um,
I always
Dinosaur.
thought Brother Bear was boring.
Have I have I seen Dinosaur? I remember the TV show Dinosaurs. Um,
Oh, you
I think
okay? So Dinosaur.
I'm thinking of Baby. There was a dinosaur movie called Baby from the 90s or something when I was a kid that I liked.
Okay,
I think it was
so
like about a little
he's talking about
brontosaurus.
the dinosaur that had to like it's like the world's ending with all the meteor strikes, and it's a Disney movie, and it's super depressing and kind of
Oh,
nihilistic and super iconic. I think it was like 2000 it came out.
huh.
Super good though.
I don't know if I've seen that. I don't think I have.
It was cool. I
Oh,
remember it was like McDonald's hand puppet.
Huey. All right. Well, anything else before we close for the night? My battery's at 7%.
No, yeah, all my stuff's been on charge, which is like my tablet and my phone. That's it
Yeah, I
though.
need to charge one. I need to charge my portable battery thing. This way I can make sure it runs, but I need to
Gosh.
wrap it up anyway because it's late.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, but
Well, I mean, I
we went
enjoyed it, man.
we went for 3 hours and 18 minutes. Check it out.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd make it this far. Look what I've done, Mom. Be happy.
Guanton raised by lemurs. Oh yep, I remember Baby Huey. For some reason, Baby Huey always bothered me as a kid, though. I don't know why. And Amy says good night. Good night, Amy. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining
Good night,
us. I really
Amy.
appreciate it.
Yes, thank
It
you
was
for being
fun.
with us for the whole ride. All the
Right?
rambling we did.
I, yeah, and it's late. I
Yeah,
appreciate
super
you.
late. Always. Teehee.
All right. So good night, everyone who's still here. I think we still got Ryder Gamer and Vibrant Numerals and Amy and Samuel's still here.
Enjoy the
Maybe
last of your
Lori.
weekend.
I think Lori said good night already, but I can't remember. Yeah, Lori did say good night.
Yeah, I think that was earlier.
Oh, thank you, Vibrant. And was yeah. Thank you, Vibrant. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you
Yeah.
hanging around this long. This is we ran kind of late tonight. I love it
Yeah, I
though.
know. I don't think either of us were expecting it. But I really hope we have put some people on some good new movies, as in Shin Godzilla and the Primevals. One's far better than the other, but neither of them are really that bad, honestly. That's the main
Yeah,
point, especially the special effects.
The Primeval is definitely still worth watching, even though the writing and the acting lacked in some places. Um, it was a beautiful film to watch. I love the setting. It's definitely a film that like I would have enjoyed more when I was a kid than I do as an adult. If I had seen this as a
Yeah.
kid, I would have loved it. It would have been one of my favorites, I think. All right, well,
I know
on
it's
that
3
note,
a.m. over there. It's 2 a.m. here. Yeah.
and then it's midnight where Samuel is.
Oh,
Samuel
sweet.
lives
Yeah, I
in.
see that. It's slow up here. Well, everybody
All right.
have a good night. Thanks for hanging out.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Now we'll play the ending theme. This is the ending theme. No, we don't have an ending theme. All right. Good night, everyone.
Oh, no, no.
All right.